What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Black Sensei Society, episode 83. I'm here with some of the main culprits, Santo, Ty, and Riddell. Lonnie is out doing some stuff with it, with visiting some people. Stay safe out there in Atlanta, Lonnie. And also we have Miles will be showing up a little bit late. First things first, we want to give a shout out to all of our members. Start out with our Shikai members. Kai, It's Okay, Dan Young, Dale Chill, Shar, Solo Boss, Leon, Antonio, obviously Miles. Shout out to Miles, Nicole, Nicholas Main, Yo Bosa, Queasy Place, Trendy, Salsa Veli, who's also hanging out with Lonnie, by the way, Jaden, Kent, and to our Patreon supporters, Nick, Leon, Trendy, and Jaden. We can't thank you guys enough. And how's everybody doing today?
Man, life is good, bro. Life is great.
It's been an eventful 48 hours for me, but we can talk about that a little later. What about you, Ty? You doing good? I can't hear you if you're talking, Ty.
Oh, I wasn't talking. Is it good?
Oh, all right. Riddell, you good?
My bad.
Yeah, man. Just doing my thing per usual.
Is that
All
right?
Oh,
All right. So let's go ahead and dive into the BSS news. Got a few things that need to be talked about here. So let's get into it. Hold on, let me make sure. So I'm just gonna do it like this because I always mess up the way I'm supposed to do it. So I got a few things ready to go here for the BSS news. First things first, Windbreaker ended last week, but the reason why we're talking about Windbreaker is getting a live action movie in December. So Windbreaker, obviously the stocks for Windbreaker going up. We finally also have the end. We know when Vinland Saga is officially ending. That is July 25th. Vinland Saga is officially ending. So we kind of got it. Riddell, I guess we know the kind of around the episode where we need to. So if that means we all need to lock in and read Vinland Saga for real, July 25th is the last chapter when it's coming out of the manga. The popular manhwa Teenage Mercenary is getting an anime. Lonnie's been really big on this. I read it too. I'm all the way caught up. I'm pretty excited. I just want to know, maybe just because of what's going on with T-Bit, who the studio is that's going to get it. But it should be a very good anime, depending on who gets it. I think Mappa could do great work with that. And then Ninja Kamui is getting 2 more seasons on Adult Swim. I guess maybe that best new anime nod at the Crunchyroll Awards really gave it some love, So Adult Swim said, screw it, 2 more seasons. And then the last one is, have you guys seen the new JJK movie trailer?
I didn't even know a trailer dropped, to be honest.
I didn't either.
It came out at the start of last week, I want to say, but I was going to be like, do we want to do a quick reaction to it? It's only like a little bit over a minute, so it's not even that long. But if you want to do a quick little reaction to it, what's good, Leon?
When does the movie come out?
Yeah, I don't know yet. I just saw the trailer. I said I'm not going to watch it until I watch it with y'all.
Oh, it's just a teaser?
It's a teaser, something like that, but it's also another prequel. I know it's a prequel because there's young Gojo and Ghettos in it.
Really?
Oh, well, are they just running back the backstory? Then I mean,
I think it is. I think it's just hidden inventory as a movie.
yeah, then I'm good. They're just running back the backstory.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's
yeah. Now I'm looking at it. Yeah, that's what they're doing. Okay, well, that's a shame, but well, there you go. So
Gotta make that change, man. Gotta make that change.
I got you. Does anybody else have any news? If not, we're gonna head right into Agenda Hour.
No,
or any reaction to the news.
Is Windbreaker that? I mean,
I enjoyed season 2. Season 2 was great.
Season 2 was fantastic. I've only seen Windbreaker in clips, to be honest. It's not really my cup of tea because I'm
I mean, after Tokyo Revengers, I kind of got off of that style of anime. But
Tokyo Revengers wishes it was Windbreaker. That's what I'll say.
I mean, well, it sullied it for me, so I didn't even give Windbreaker a chance.
It does the smart thing by ensuring that it's not plot heavy compared to Revengers.
I got it.
Revengers is plot heavy. And then they completely fumbled the plot. The ending, the stuff with the time stuff, that was trash. It was not good. It wasn't explained well. Windbreaker does not have a heavy plot. It focuses on two things: fights and the characters. And honestly, they nail it. They do it very, very well. I will say season 2, I already read it, so I knew what was happening, so I wasn't watching it weekly, but it was a really good arc. Season 3, if my memory is correct, will be like a big showdown, like a little gang version of a war arc. And that's when they're going to start boxing crazy. And a lot of the big top characters of Windbreaker are going to go crazy as well. And then there's that character that happened that you saw season 2 with the tattoos random.
Mm-hmm.
So should I say this? It's kind of a spoiler. It's not a crazy one. Just know that there's another guy who's insane.
No, I mean that seems like part of course. Once you learn the guy with the tattoos has kind of been orchestrating things behind the scenes, and how he's now interested in Sakura was very interesting. Like I praised obviously a month ago, I praised Windbreaker for how it handled what in most animes handle like a really bad joke, and I praised how they handled it. I thought it was very well done. And I'm excited. I'm excited for season 3 when it comes out. The live action movie should not be that hard. Obviously, nail your choreography right, but I wasn't surprised that it's getting a live action. I just wanted to let you know. Miles, let you know Vinland Saga is ending July 25th.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm finishing up season 2 of the anime. I'm gonna hop into the manga. I feel like it's a divine calling that I realized I wanted to hop back on it because now it's ending. So finish it straight through.
You speak fiction.
So I'm gonna do it once we. I think. I'm just gonna start reading it from where season 2 ended. It's an amazing show.
Question, Miles: do you like season 2 over season 1 of Vinland?
Over? Maybe not. But I think it's good. It's damn good.
I think.
I'm tripping.
What happened?
I have no idea what happened just now.
Yeah, what was that? Did you see that? Is somebody else back here?
I had my hands up. It wasn't me.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, maybe it's my computer bugging. It's been bugging for a while. So if it bugs like that again, I'll just switch computers.
Okay.
I don't know if that was me, but just in case.
Got you.
Yeah, Miles, you were saying about season 2?
I'm just rocking with it. Like I was saying, like I really like Canute. Like his development towards the end of the season and throughout this season, seeing him come back. So as far as like my enjoyment, I really like it because I feel like my favorite character. I get to see a lot of them. But I mean, I don't see why people hated it so much as it was happening. I remember the conversation around it. Because of the lack of combat, for the most part. It's more about, his personal journey, what he's going through, being a slave, things like that, him coupling with wanting to live or a reason to live rather. But no, I really fuck with it. Even though I hate that Viking shit, I fuck with it.
Yeah, the way I think about it, season 1 is more like a prologue, and then season 2 moving forward is the Vinland Saga story, basically, because they're completely different types of ways that they tell their story. To be honest, can't wait. Honestly, July 25th is a Friday. Is it one of them ones like where people are gonna be down go live on Friday?
Obviously, I can't project that far out, but I don't see why not, especially if we're all gonna be reading the manga to get ready, because I think it definitely deserves its own like episodic review or series review like we did for My Hero and all the other ones.
Yeah, it's
I figure where I'm at in Vinland Saga because I know I gotta figure where I'm at. I'm definitely like chapter maybe like 200 chapters. I got this is 219. Okay, I got a little bit.
Yeah, I shouldn't be too far to be honest. So shout out Vinland Saga, one of the best series of our generation. Slept on, cooks. Can't wait to see. I just need a happy ending. That's all I need.
Off topic, real quick. Is it hot where y'all stay at?
It
Yes.
was pretty hot today, but I live by the ocean, so I get the ocean breeze.
Bro, I'm in Texas. It's hot.
It was 100 degrees today. I'm
That's
a winter New York nigga. I'm built for 100 degrees. I just had to vent. I had to come home. I had to shower real quick. Felt nasty. You know what I'm saying? This shit ignorant, bro.
Bro,
Yeah,
the
the
worst
heat
the
wave
worst
is-
part the worst part that I'm dealing with is, I mean, of course it's hot as heck outside, but you go in from a cool building to the hot heat from outside and your glasses just completely fog over. Like, it's the worst, bro.
Yeah. I'm from Hawaii. I like the heat. I hate the cold, so I'm chilling. But
I'd
Shout out-
rather avoid dry heat. I think dry heat's horrendous.
I like dry heat.
I'm good on
Me
dry
too.
heat, bro.
But
That
I'd
humid
rather,
shit, I feel like I'm drowning.
I'd rather be cold than hot.
Hey, shout out Kenichi and Bungo, Kent. You locked in. Those are some pretty goddamn good series right there.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna go over to agenda hour. I'll say this, we got a big topic for agenda hour. I'm really excited for this, but we'll be going right now. Now, before we get to a big topic, let's go ahead and talk about the sports strategy we saw in the in Game 7 NBA Finals and kind of recap the NBA playoffs as a whole. But first things first, congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Game
Whoa.
7, they did it. They won. I know people in Seattle punching the air right now, but unfortunately, we were robbed of, I think, what could have been a really special game either way when Tyrese Halliburton unfortunately popped his Achilles. And just the way he started too, y'all, like hit 3 threes and like he had 9.7 minutes. And I have a theory that that I wanted to kind of expound on why he started off so hot, or why Rick Carlisle was more animated in Game 7, I thought, than you usually see him. I don't know if y'all noticed, but right before the game started, all of a sudden these pictures or this video hit of social media of the OKC buses, the championship parade buses, getting leaked. And then right before the game, Rick Carlisle mentioned it. And I thought the Pacers came out with that, like, oh, hell nah, you're not going to do that to us. And I think the way Tyrese came out really proved that. But unfortunately, he got hurt. And you know, people are sad, but y'all, how do y'all feel about the playoffs in general? One of the best playoff, I guess, one of the best playoff seasons I've seen in a long time. But fellas, how do y'all feel about that?
I hated that, bro. Playoffs was really good, but like I hate. First of all, I actually thought Tyrese Halliburton grew on me, bro. He was so fun to watch. I hope he gets better, but like I hate when injuries are like one of the biggest factors in deciding an outcome. That to me just makes it, because I was watching the game and Tyrese came out, hit 3 threes. Oh, he turned up. Then he got hurt. I was like, wow. Because then I knew, because I was hoping that the game would be close and interesting. And then when that happened, I was just like, man, that's what my take about saying fiction over sports, bro. Fiction, I know I'm gonna get a satisfying end most times. Sports is just like, because he may never go back to the finals. Like that could happen. He there's a chance that he may never go back. Like that thought kind of like I know for him, he probably is thinking he's gonna get better, but if he ends his career and he never gets back to the final, never gets another chance, and then that was his last shot. That shit was ass, bro.
I was watching it with my wife, and I've never seen an Achilles like on replay, like actually see the snap of the Achilles tearing. My wife freaked out. She's like, "Oh, what happened?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's an Achilles."
That's what happens. I knew immediately when he fell. I
Yeah,
knew
like you see it like a rubber band just like snap in his calf. It was crazy. I think players, if you have a calf strain, don't even play. We've seen this too many times. It happens with KD. It happened with Hallie. It happened with other players. If you have a calf strain, it's not worth the risk at this point. I believe I'm one of the believers that if Hallie finishes the game, I think we have a different champion personally. And shout out to TJ McConnell because I mean I've been saying that Hallie is not overrated. I'm a Hallie fan, but TJ McConnell made a fan out of me. Like to see that guy leave it out on the court and he was balling. Like he was just he was a dog
Felt like the only
and
one to-
and literally apologized to Hallie. Like hugged him and say, "I'm sorry, I tried." Like,
Real
bro.
quick, what's good? Big Rob, Big J Rob, what's good? We see you in the comment section. But sorry, Santo, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. But yeah, I had a lot of fun watching the NBA Finals. I thought it was entertaining. The playoffs, I thought it was pretty good, pretty solid. But unfortunately, things happen.
Miles.
Yeah, I thought the Eastern side of the playoffs was really good. I wasn't really like that high on the West. I kind of felt like I already knew who was going to walk out. Whereas the East was more of a gauntlet. I feel like it could go a bunch of ways. We had the Celtics, we had the Cavs, the Knicks, and ultimately it was the Pacers. I'm going to be honest. I was hate watching the finals. I really wanted Shea to lose. I don't like Shea. I don't like Jay Scrub. I don't like none of those dudes. I fuck with Caruso though, but for the most part, I don't like the Thunder. I don't like the way they play. I don't like them, and I really, really wanted to see them lose. I just hate the hate watch had to be unsuccessful because of something like that.
Twice, actually.
You know what I mean? And it goes to show, like, I get, like, Tyrese's mindset. You want to risk the biscuit. You might not ever get here again. You want to try to get your ring. But is it worth it in the long run if you might not get into the finals again? You might not be able to perform at the same level ever. You know what I mean? Like, you risked it all for that one moment, and it's not worth it. I think that kind of sucks. Other than that, praise for Tyrese. Respect to the Thunder. New champions, MVP Shea. I'm more interested in what's going on in the market right now. It's a lot of
Don't worry.
Scorching hot moves. But overall, way better playoffs of years. I'd probably give it about an 8 out of 10. I thought it was really, really good. Good representation from a lot of teams I didn't expect. Me being a New Yorker, I'm not a Knicks fan. I'm not going to pretend like I am. I didn't think we were going to get past the Celtics. Some people are, saying we were kind of complacent. That was our chip. Fuck it. I'll take beating Boston any day. And then as for the Pacers, I played on a sports team. Like I'm sure, like some of y'all up here played on a sports team as well. If I see the star go down, I feel like it'll kind of invigorate me to want to play harder. I know Obi Toppin was saying like his heart wasn't in it, but Santa, you mentioned it. TJ McConnell was the only nigga I felt like left it out all on the floor. I didn't feel like Miles was going that hard. Obi didn't really do nothing. Siakam was just getting locked up, to be honest. I feel like Siakam was trying. He was getting locked. E. Smith, Nemhart, none of those guys were making it happen. I only saw TJ look like he was playing with a sense of urgency. Like I said, one of my dogs go down, I'm going out swinging. I just felt like the Pacers didn't do that for real.
I mean, to be fair, you only can do so much considering how much Tyrese Halliburton dictates the flow of the offense.
For sure.
And it was a tough situation. The reason why I said twice is because you had Game 7 against the Nuggets, Aaron Gordon's injury. He could not play right, and the Thunder were able to take that. And then you have a Game 7 here. Tyrese was cooking these boys. He was feeling himself. He was feeling like Caitlin Clark, you know what I'm saying? Shooting it for 50. Hey, what's wrong with that?
Nothing, man.
Okay.
Chill out, man.
I had an itch. My fault.
Okay. Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton, nasty. Tyrese Halliburton was cooking them. I also agree. I think the Pacers are going to win this game. They had all the momentum. They were completely decimating this defense. Everybody was hitting the shots, not only Tyrese. Everybody was
locking up too. They were playing good ass D.
Playing some good defense, and then that happened. I personally, It is a case by case basis when it comes to injuries and whether or not you should play. My philosophy is as simple as this. I think when it comes down to sports, if you have the chance to win it all, then I'm doing whatever it takes to win it all. That's how I would approach it. Yeah, there's a chance you could ruin your career, but winning a championship is not something everybody can do, especially as a professional. Not everybody is like one of the top 10 players of all time and just stacks multiple rings, especially if you're Tyrese Halliburton. Like, I think Santos said it earlier. What's the chances the Pacers hit the finals again? Very unlikely, in my opinion. It is a tough injury, though. I do understand the aspect of we've seen calf strains lead to Achilles tear. He could come back just like Kevin Durant, obviously a little different. He doesn't really attack the rim that much, so if he's able to return like Kevin Durant, he should not be as good as he was, but still be very good for what he is. So we'll see. But man, the villains won this time, and it's disgusting.
Hey, yo, Riddell, what I tell you, man, bad guys win in sports, bro. They just
you were spitting, bro.
Wait, wasn't Halliburton the bad guy?
Oh
no!
I feel like the world was rooting for the Pacers. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like
in wrestling, Halliburton's the bad guy.
Halliburton's the villain.
Santo, let me, because I've been comparing fiction. I've been comparing fiction and sports. If this was an anime, Halliburton is the protagonist. He's the MC. Like, that's just, you feel me? Like,
over Shea?
No, I'm saying, he's the underdog. Usually the antagonists have like the juggernaut player, the juggernaut team, and then the antagonist has the underdog team that has to come up and win. Like, that's all the miracle plays. That is an MC type of team, bro.
I agree.
Hold on, real quick, Santo. So you're telling me you're looking at the Oklahoma City Thunder, and if this was an anime, you're saying that they're the protagonist team, that they're the good guys.
It's always underdogs, bro.
I'm talking about the narrative that was pushed by the NBA. The Halliburton was the guy that killed the Cinderella story in the New York Knicks. Halliburton's
were always the underdog.
Like even Tyrese Halliburton being almost overrated. Ain't that like some MC underdog stuff? Like that's MC.
Random. They were always the underdog because even me as a New York fan, the moment we want to bring into New York, niggas are saying, "Oh, New York in 5." Niggas might sweep them. There's no way they win.
Material, bro.
Hold on, Miles. To add on to that, the fact that right before the playoff series happened, we had that infamous clip of that Pacers fan getting bullied by a bunch of Knicks fans. And then Hallie contacted that fan and said, "I'm gonna fly you out." Come on, that's peak good guy material.
This is disgusting.
No, Santo, you have to understand. Like, why would the overdogs be the protagonist team?
I'm not using your logic, Ty. Halliburton, the entire season was viewed like a villain, and now he has this underdog story.
He was though.
Wait, what?
I don't remember that.
Wait, I was there. When was he the villain this season?
Anything Shea was. Everybody hates Shea. He be foul baiting. Like,
I guess we don't forget that part.
Maligned way more than Hallie.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, when was Hallie a villain? Well, I'm trying really.
Heliocentric basketball will never win. All he does is foul bait. He's a disgrace to watch. He was getting slandered.
Hallie's only a villain to New York Knicks, bro. Like the fans hate him because the fans they hate Trae Young. Like, come on, man. Like, that doesn't
to give you an example. So when he got hurt in the finals game, what's good, Angie? A lot. You could tell how much of the energy went out the building. Like, even the Oklahoma City fans were like, "Damn, this is bad." Like, if that was Patrick Beverly, I don't think they react the same. If you're like a villain in the NBA, you don't react the same the way they did. It took a while for that game to get back to where it was.
It took the halftime mark because you could tell both teams are kind of stunned.
Yeah,
the game was very close. They both breaking shots. I feel like in the halftime, Dagenham was probably like, "Yo, like
what are we doing? Like,
kill them. Step on their necks now. Let's win.
Let's go.
Lock in, fellas, for sure."
So I do have a few questions for you guys regarding some of the talking points coming out the finals. But by the way, Santo, that's still crazy that you think Halliburton's a villain, but hey, you do you, man. But I'll say this: if they made the Indiana Pacers season into an anime or like a sports movie, they throw it out. It's literally the perfect sports movie if you think about it. Like now you're just like, I can't wait for Indiana Pacers season 2 because when Halliburton gets back, we know he's gonna be right. That's what people are saying now. If this was an anime or a show,
that's the cliffhanger of season 1, bro.
That's the cliffhanger that he's hurt and he's out. And then maybe next season, it's you're just watching everybody while Halliburton's getting healthy. And then the third season, Halliburton's back. Like, let's go. We try to do it all again. Like, that's the thing. But let's here are my few questions. Look, we'll get the sports show question out the way. Is this the start? I'm not gonna say dynasty. Is this a start of prolonged success for the Thunder? Are we seeing them in multiple conference finals, multiple chips?
Yes.
That's what you're saying, Miles?
I believe so, but what the takeaway I have though, they showed us that they can bleed. They can be beaten. But I do think they have so much talent all around the board at every position, good coaching, good front office. They're gonna stay relevant for at least the rest of this decade. But they can bleed. There are some teams that can headhunt them and that can beat them. I believe they can be beaten for sure.
I will say that the term success, they've been successful. Like they've been successful at acquiring talent. They're going to be perennial playoff teams. In terms of winning championships like that, I would say I'm a little hesitant on that based on this playoff run, because like Miles said it perfectly. They can be beat. They're not this generational team that people have been putting them on this pedestal about, because for 2 series straight, we've seen them not play well and just skate by. So that would be my thing. I mean, I one thing I do trust is their front office. Their front office is amazing at everything that they do, from drafting to trades or whatnot. So I have no doubt that they will be successful in that, in regular seasons wins and playoff runs. Sure. In terms of championships, based on this run, I can't give them the vote of confidence like that.
You know what's so crazy about that, bro? I'm thinking about like, because I'm pretty y'all been seeing the trades and all that stuff that happening today. Yo,
we don't get into that.
We don't talk about how much. I don't know if we get into anime, but let's say one last thing about it. CJ McCollum is a villain, bro. CJ McCollum. What happened?
What?
CJ McCollum?
That's a crazy stray. Crazy stray.
I'll tell you why. This whole CBA, like him representing the players, bro. He ensured that the Golden State KD Wolves will never happen again. He's traumatized by that. So he's like, all right, bet. I'll make sure no team moving forward can ever pull that shit again, bro. And now teams got to trade on their best players. They get like, yo, come on, bro.
$2 super chat by Kent. Sorry. Yu Yu Hakusho top 5. And is that
MVP?
Oh, MVP and defensive player of the year loading. By the way, real quick.
Yeah, I'm with you.
The fact that he's learning how to attain enlightenment in China right now, we are not ready. First things first, the NBA ain't ready for like fully realized Wemby, but fully realized Wemby with Shaolin, with him mastering Shaolin, the Shaolin monk ways. He's gonna be blocking you and like praying for your soul at the same time.
Wemby about to open the 8 gates.
Go ahead.
Listen,
Bob.
man. I think the Shaolin monk shit, it's gonna help with the calisthenics. I'm sure he got more flexible, but more than anything, I feel like after that random blood clot thing, he really had to recenter with himself. I think he's gonna come back this season, focused as hell. I hope he was doing a little bit of basketball here and there. He got a lot of time. Well, let's get back to hoop. Let's get it right.
Have you not seen the Shaolin monks when they hoop?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
I need to send you one where this Shaolin monk had one of the nastiest double clutch lays I've seen a human attempt, and he was in his robes. So I'm like, oh nah, put this guy some shorts. He might be dunking that thing. I'll send you the video here in a second.
Shout out Wemby though, man.
Listen, man. All I'm saying is CJ McCollum is a villain, bro. When the Player Association and NBA came together to talk about this second apron, bro, CJ McCollum said, "We'll never see the KD Warriors again, bro." Then he's a villain.
I'll be one of those people. I don't like super teams, so I'm okay with it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just genuinely okay with it.
I don't mind them.
But I don't mind them. But I'm saying like a lot of people bro, we have the person for Nuggets saying, shoot, man, I have to trade Jokic. Like I know they're not gonna trade Jokic, obviously, but the fact that these penalties are that bad that you didn't consider that, bro. CJ's a villain.
See, the reason why I'm fine with it is more than likely, unless the Thunder make a crazy move, which they can because they have all the draft capital before the second apron thing became a thing. Then overall, we probably won't get a dynasty team unless it's a team with like 2 young stars, and even the Warriors, their whole dynasty. There was a bit of luck into that situation because Steph wasn't getting paid a certain amount of money because of his injury. The likelihood of us getting another dynasty team is very low, and I'm okay with it. I like having a lot of parity in the league. I like not knowing which team is going to make it. I like that aspect of it personally, mainly because I don't have like a straight team that I'm rooting for you every single year for the most part. I prefer rooting for players over teams. And that's why what the Celtics are doing right now, this is where true geniuses get made. Brad Stevens, if he could do some mental gymnastics, do all the things he's doing and still build a contender once Tatum comes back, that just tells you that some people know ball and some people don't. And right now, I think he's doing some very interesting stuff that I kind of respect. So I'm perfectly okay with it. We don't need any more super teams. It got really boring unless you're a Warriors or a Heat or a Cavs fan. I'm good.
I just don't like that he did it out of spite, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
I respect
I don't feel like the super teams are. Go ahead, guys.
No. You go ahead. You go ahead. Because I was
going to just say, I don't feel like the super teams were as successful as people kind of make them out to be. Like, yeah, the Warriors, they got 3. Well, 2 with the KD era, the super team. The Heat got there too. Outside of that, every super team composition we kind of saw get put together didn't work. It was the well-oiled teams that played together that worked. The Celtics, kind of an example of a sidestep because they had best POA defender at the time, KP. They had a lot, but I think the whole idea of the super teams running the gauntlet, was kind of overblown. I don't think that was ever really a factor.
Yeah. Well, based off my strict assessment of like what I truly think a super team is, I think it does apply. It's just a lot of times when teams after like a lot of these crafted super teams like the Warriors were created and the Cavs were created, other GMs thought that they were,
the Cavs.
Yeah, Kyrie, Kevin Love, and LeBron. After that,
super team?
Yeah.
Really?
But
I think people now look at Kevin Love like he wasn't one of the best. Kevin Love was a rebounding machine. He was a double-double monster in Minnesota. And then once he went to Cleveland, he really dumbed down his game to fit in. Because remember that first year, LeBron was like sneak dissing him on Twitter and stuff, trying to tell him like, look, stop trying to do their own thing. Like you got to fit in, not fit out, or whatever he said. So, but
the only thing with that is that I think the term super team is like misused in some to a certain extent. Just because you have a notable name doesn't mean it's a super team.
People were calling Katie Bradley Bill a super team, bro.
Yeah,
niggas were calling Melo, PG, and Westbrook a super team.
And it's just not. There's just notable names that you hear about. Sure.
Was OKC a super team
this year?
With Melo?
This year.
I think if it's homegrown, I don't count that as a super team.
So if the talent is and that's that's my problem. Because I think OKC is a super team.
I'm about to say the Celtics in the 80s were homegrown. They ain't a super team.
No, so let me give you I think when I hear super team, it's manufactured. It's not homegrown. Like LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, that's a super team. That's manufactured. KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen, that's a super team.
So more than anything, I feel like the name value is what people use to determine a super team. When I think super team, I think the level of talent they have and how many weaknesses they have. OKC didn't have. They had their weakness. I felt like was their offense outside of Shea. That was like probably their one glaring weakness. They had a super amazing superstar, super elite rim protection, super elite perimeter defense. They had everything. So I don't see how they can't be a super team.
Yeah, I'm about to say by this. I've heard people say that also it's at least 3 stars, quote unquote. And I hate that too because it's like that by that logic, Bradley, Bill, KD, and Devin Booker is a super team, but Kobe and Shaq isn't.
Yeah.
One got 3. Like what?
So
Doesn't make sense.
that's just my only thing. I think that's just the way I describe it. Don't get me wrong, Miles, you're right. OKC is a super team, but I'm not gonna put it on the same level as like the Miami, the Heatles, because that's not the same to me.
Do you consider that Suns team a super team by that logic? It would have to be.
I don't think so.
KD, how about the KDCP D book one with Aiton and all them?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They would have got smashed by this other team, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
but problem is
They would have got screwed, bro.
I guess if you want to go name, I guess yeah, but CP is the by the way, I'm not saying this is a bad CP, he was just older. He was the
So what about the 3? What about Melo, PG, and Russ?
No, I never thought of them as a super team.
Why not? Why not though?
I first things first, maybe because mind you, I am the casual of us 5. I don't watch enough I just never thought they would mesh together. Because to be honest with me, remember when Westbrook went to the Lakers, I'm like, this is not a super team. I don't know why everybody keeps saying that. They don't work. Like, but I guess if you wanna do that, if you want to say name, then I guess I'm wrong. I just never thought of them that way. But I guess if you want to go by name, then yes, then all those teams are super teams.
So did you think Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and KD on the Nets was a super team?
Yes.
See, that one actually makes sense because they were going to win the chip. They ain't hurt.
That's me. Like it just like they meshed better. Like they meshed better. Like they just had it. Like the time when they did, which is crazy. I think when they'll probably make a documentary about that team one day and how just crazy. I think they only ended up playing like 16 games together out of 2 years or something like that.
New York was being stupid. That was New York's fault.
I really just think that the term super team is tied into the names, because if we're going down who's a super team, I also think at least this year OKC would be a super team. The San Antonio Spurs was a super team in my opinion.
Duncan, Ginobili, all of that,
and
Tony
Parker,
Kawhi, that was a super team.
Yeah, like it was crazy, and like you're not even counting the Patty Mills, the Boris Diaws. Like they were just stacked.
Bruce Bowen. Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
so let me just get a few more questions off. One of the big storylines from this NBA Finals was obviously, I believe this season was a record where 8 players had Achilles injuries, and it's a big 8 players. Yeah. So the previous high was in 2014 with 6. So the people have just been asked a lot of questions. Like Colin Cowherd said he wants to shorten the playoffs, where he's like the first round only have it 5 games, the second round only have it 5 games, and then the conference finals and the finals be 7. Now Bill Simmons and Ryan Russillo, they've talked about turn the season down to 14 to 70 games instead of 82. There's just been a lot of things being thrown around. But I think the main thing is people have been saying the way the NBA is right now with how athletic, what players are being asked to do. Like at one point in the NBA Finals, TJ McConnell's at the top of the 3-point line, and Chet has to guard him. You know, just players are being asked to do a lot, so they're saying something about the NBA game has to change. Now, I have an idea, which is something I heard somebody else say, so I'm not going to claim it as my own. But how do you guys feel about that? Do you think the NBA game, just the way it's formatted right now, is just too hard on players, or is just like a certain thing? I'm not going to adhere to the 3 players this postseason who tore their Achilles all wore number 0. I think that's just a freak coincidence. If a whole bunch of dudes wearing 23 tear the ACL, are we going to bring that up? You know, that things like, I think that's just a coincidence. But I guess the fact that there were 8 players this season who tore their Achilles, obviously 3 notable players in the playoffs. How do we feel about that? Is there anything that you guys think that the NBA could change? And then I'll give you guys my idea.
And for me, I guess I'll go first. I think shortening the season doesn't really accomplish anything. If there is something that maybe could help, is completely do away with back-to-backs. Maybe. I also, and I don't like to give this person a lot of credit, but I kind of share a lot of the sentiments that he has in this case, and it's Gilbert Arenas. He
Thank
talks
you.
about he talks about how players practice now, like the amount of athleticism that is needed, the amount of running that you're doing in the game, the just the level of players that are now in the league. Players are not practicing effectively to their bodies just can't keep up. They're not running as much. They're not doing a lot of contact drills. It's a lot of shoot arounds. It's a lot of walkthroughs and whatnot. I think that has been a major factor in the game that we're seeing, where a lot of players are dealing with a lot of lower extremity injuries, a lot of ankles, a lot of knees, a lot of hamstrings. They're not moving like how they used to back then. Because honestly, me growing up as a kid, I didn't see a lot of ACLs and Achilles just getting popped on a regular basis like this. And I think that has to do with just the level of, not saying that these people don't work out and whatnot, because they do, but during the season, the level of practice that they do to have that upkeep, I think they're minimizing it because we're in this DMP rest era, thinking that rest is the solution for it versus training your body to endure the physical toll that it does take. So I don't think shortening the season is the answer for this. I think it has to do more with training.
I'm not an expert, but to add to your point of what Gilbert Arenas was saying, even compared to the time when he was playing, he said they're doing less back to backs, less travel overall. They supposedly have better medical staff and support systems, things like that. I think some of these narratives need to die because it seems like a lot more players are getting injured today, more than they were before. It just seems like it. I could think of somebody probably on every single roster right now that has some sort of leg injury, ankle injury, something of that nature. Kawhi might have been all right. These training and development, strength training, all of these coaches and health experts, quote unquote, might not be doing their job to the best of their ability. Because I just find it hard to believe all of these players are getting hurt.
Yeah. Also, a lot of folks back then couldn't shoot, so you didn't have to run around and they just. I'm sorry.
He was chilling.
Shoot. They could. The off-ball movement wasn't like that, and they couldn't dribble, bro. You didn't have to do as much. Now you got people with crazy handles can shoot from everywhere. Like, bro, it's just different, man.
So I'm glad you said that. There's a combination of a lot of things in this conversation. The game right now, there's a lot more dynamic movement from every single player on the court that does require more extraneous energy that's being spent, as well as more movement and different types of movement on the court. I also think that this could also be, you always got to pay attention to this. We live in an era where we're constantly fed information every minute, arguably every second. So overexposure of information could skew how we perceive how injuries were now versus how injuries were back in the 90s, the 80s, the 2000s, 2010s. Just the idea of people thinking that they can know what's going on in a full NBA season back in the day without constantly getting informed on what every game is happening is just not realistic. They had cable TV, and most cable TV, you only can watch the team that's in your local area. So it could be an overexposure problem where people think it's a bigger issue than it actually is. And it also could be the fact that there's more talented players, so you have to move in different areas. And then to kind of correspond with what Santos said, a lot of training, from my understanding, is way more specialized. But sometimes you can argue, and some athletes have argued this, that they need more all-around, well-rounded training that hits more parts of your body and gets every piece of your body, every muscle of your body, being able to handle all these different variety of movements while you're on the court. Because if you're just focusing on very specific skill set training is not like physical training also, just to keep that in mind. And if you're only working specific parts of your body and you're not working out all the parts of your body because, well, you may not be practicing, which was also brought up because practicing, you're forced to do a bunch of different things on the court and you're just working on drills. All these things can play into potential more injuries, especially injuries that are hit in very, weird ways. Because a lot of these injuries are not, oh, I landed weird or some crazy physical content. It's just your body couldn't handle it and you tweak something. So there's a lot of factors that play into it. But I'm gonna be honest, it really just could be we're just overexposed. So we think this is more of a problem than it actually is.
So, one thing I saw was, I can't remember which NBA player brought it up, but they were talking about the shoes. A lot of NBA players wear low top shoes now instead of maybe more mid and high tops to protect their ankles and things like that. But that's not what I'm talking about here. Now, obviously, when somebody talks about shortening the games to 70, you're gonna have to convince 30 people to give up 12 games of millions of dollars. So where the hell are you gonna? How the hell are they gonna make that money back? So this wasn't me. I can't remember the podcast that did it. I watched it. They introduced more of a soccer, like a Premier League soccer model. So for instance, right now is the Club World Cup, where a lot of World Cups are in America right now playing. Miles Ty, where they're playing, and their seasons are like essentially on hold. So they were like, why don't we do something like that? It's something that happens all the time. I'm not that well versed in professional soccer, but you'll be playing. Let's say your season starts in January and you go through June, but randomly, like in March, your season will stop and you'll do a tournament. Well, you'll still be able to hit your 82 games, but let's just say those 12 games are in a tournament. So like the in-season tournament, except instead of like, okay, at the halfway, let's just say an all-star break, whatever your record is there, then stop. You're going to go play your 12 games against some of the best players in the world, or wherever your tournament is taking you. And then you come back to finish out the season, but you get more rest in between each tournament. So it's not, so obviously there's some points where it's like, the Lakers would play your regular NBA schedule. That's crazy. The Lakers would play your NBA schedule, and then they would go to Europe to go play like the Champions League or things like that. But that was something that we call it that was something I thought that was very interesting. But that's enough NBA. Halliburton, prayers up to you, man. Hopefully you come back ready and rested, ready to go. Dame, apparently his recovery is going very well, apparently, because like everybody else, the new thing now when you tear your Achilles, you get your Achilles done immediately, your surgery done right away, because apparently that's supposed to help you or something like that. But if you're in the East next year, I'm sorry, Miles. If you're the Knicks, low key, you have to make the finals next year. You kind of have, huh?
Why?
Look at how depleted the East is.
Sure, but I expect more moves to happen. Like, I don't really and it's not towards like anybody. I'm just saying I don't really know what the landscape of the league is going to be like. All of a sudden, because random, we got into that debate about the Rockets and all of that. Shit. Other than the Thunder, these niggas might be up. There's a lot of teams that I feel like are up now, like depending on like how a lot of these moves went. And there's some teams that we have to see it pan out, see it on paper, see it in game to know if they might be up too. So I really don't know. And by the way, I'm not a Knicks fan, so I don't give a fuck. We were just on a good run. I'm from the city, so I hopped on the bandwagon.
Gotcha.
I apologize.
Y'all know D-Book my nigga, KD my nigga, and Jokic is my nigga. Those are my three niggas. So you know what I'm saying? At least one of them is in a good situation right now. That's all I can be happy for.
So
Two
and
things,
kind of,
bro. I'm sorry. I was just gonna say two things. If you're the Knicks, the firing of Tom Thibodeau right now kind of hurts you because
I don't know why he did that.
The East is so wide open at this point. You're looking at the Cavs, and if Embiid is back, you're probably looking at Philly. That's
I need to see that. I need to see that man be healthy for a significant amount of time before I say that.
If I'm D-Book, I am literally just going into the front office and crashing out.
I sent him a DM. I said, yo, bro, if you retire, bro, all of your fans might not get it, but bro, I get it. I understand.
Bro.
Because I'll be ready to retire too. Y'all don't give a fuck about me. That's how it looks to me.
Apparently they might trade Jalen Green.
I think that was like the logical. You would have to. You would have to. But I don't feel like there's any moves they can make to where D-Book is where he belongs, which is on a contender. So,
all right, let's say this: Drew Holiday does not want to be on the Blazers.
I don't want him on my team.
No, he's
Drew,
getting bought out.
I don't want him on my team.
I will say Drew. I mean,
you're
Drew
tripping,
on the
bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Blazers is
I want him on my team.
actually pretty good.
That would be a solid squad around Devin Booker.
I wouldn't be surprised if
I don't want him
the
on my
Lakers,
team.
if the Nuggets get him. They need another point of attack defender. But to kind of give you guys a recap, obviously Kyrie re-signed today for 3 years, 117 million with a player option. Obviously Drew Holiday, like we touched on, got traded to the Blazers, but I don't think that's where he's going to actually start the season. Then there's Porzingis got traded to the Hawks today for Terrence Mann, the 22nd pick, and George Niang, and then it's a 3-team deal. Oh, it's a 3-team deal.
Yep.
So, oh my God. So Porzingis goes to the Hawks, Terrence Mann and the 22nd pick go to the Nets. By the way, the Nets have 4 first-round picks this year. George Niang and the second rounder go to Boston because Boston had to make some stuff. There's a lot of Jaylen Brown, like trade speculation. A lot of teams are calling about him. Then there's obviously the Desmond Bane trade before, the Kevin Durant trade to the Rockets. I'm very curious to see what else other teams do, but there a lot of teams in the East should be doing a lot of moves to take advantage of this. And God damn it, I feel so bad for Tyrese. It just makes me feel bad for Tyrese a lot more. But that's enough NBA talk. Let's go ahead and go on to what we really wanted to talk about during this agenda hour. We had a little debate in our Instagram.
Well, hold on. Let me do my mini topic first, because I have a second agenda. It didn't come up until I watched it. I didn't get to speak. Juneteenth was over the weekend. I was out partying. I was living my life. Riddell, I shirked my obligations to me and you. Me and you be locked. We be doing shit on the weekend. We be getting locked in. I wasn't there for the 2B Hero X content or the Tower of God, but I want to focus on that 2B Hero X. Bro. Did we not get a potential top anime fight of all time over the weekend?
Oh, that ball queen. That shit was some heat.
I'm going to watch it after the show.
And it was like 15 minutes of straight hands.
$5 super chat from Lonnie. Sorry, real quick. Durant had the 9th best defensive field goal percentage as the closest defender. Green scored single digits 5 times in the series, conducive to winning. They're still not making out the first round, but that's just me.
Random.
I will bet you right now. I will bet you right now.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I will bet you right now.
Random. Put that money where your mouth is, gang.
I don't bet.
You don't have to
Nigga,
be
you betting today, motherfucker. Even if it's $5, we betting.
I
Because
will take that bet right now.
not getting past the first round is crazy, dog. That's crazy.
It doesn't have to be money either.
Oh, we want to do humiliation rituals? What's the
I'm all right. I'm all right.
I'm here
I'm
for
good on
whatever.
You're not making
I'll
any
bet-
bet?
No, I'll bet. Okay, fine. I'll bet like $5. I still don't think they're making.
okay.
To who?
No, he said they don't get past the first round. That's the bet.
I can
Brandon,
bet
you
both
sure
of
you
you
want to
want.
lock that in?
Miles, we're splitting the $5.
Okay.
No, I'll do $5 for both of you, so you can each get $5.
Brandon, you sure?
Yeah, I don't think they're making out the first round.
All right, bro. Salute.
Hey man, this wasn't my fight, but shout out, man. Shout out. But Miles, you were cooking though. Queen and Boa. I when I saw that they were about to fight, I was watching the episode with my reaction. I was like, bro, we're only halfway done with the episode. And then for the rest of the episode, straight hands, boxing, very little talking, very little. They were just on smoke. There was strategy in the fight. And one thing that I said in the reaction that I really appreciate is that they didn't waste time over explaining their abilities while they were fighting. While you're watching it, you can pretty much understand what they're doing And just enjoy the show. They killed it.
So I got a question for you. I got a couple questions, but I want to glaze it a little bit more. But I got a couple questions for you. Bro, if 2B Hero X is this a weekly? Do they animate this weekly?
Shit, I have no idea.
The level of that animation was
I don't think they do it
crazy.
weekly.
This had to have all been recorded beforehand, and they're just bro. The level of animation, time and effort they put into this fight was like absurd to see. They're flying through buildings, they're changing scenery, they're fighting like a shipyard, they're bouncing off of shit. The way they animate their abilities and their moves, like this was the first. I like the E-Soul fight, but this fight, I was glued to the fucking screen. I could not take my eyes off for nothing. Phone, nothing was distracting me from them getting it on. That was crazy.
I'm excited to watch that after the show. I can't.
Oh yeah, it's really good. It's a good episode in general, by the way, because there's a lot of really good exposition. And Miles, the cliffhanger pissed me off. The cliffhanger, I'm like, bro, they better not do my boy Johnny dirty, bro. We've been talking about it, that there's potential he might be evil. They better not, man. They just better not. And we won't get Johnny Boy for 4 episodes.
A weird twist. You don't gotta be a crazy. He seems like such a good guy.
And that's how they throw you off. That's because, like you said, that creature had a weird ability. Forcing that girl to like it, that's peak villain stuff. You thought Eastwood fight was better?
What I wanted to ask you, Riddell, we kind of got to see what fear looks like completely controlled. Like, Boa was a little unhinged. Like, it obviously plays to your negative emotions, of course, but she was very much in control of the fight. She was using a lot of IQ. She was thinking. I wonder how they're going to continue to develop fear further, because we kind of got to see it just affecting, one person, then a group of people, then a region. It causing like calamities. It affecting the water. It kind of just fucking up everything. But now we're gonna kind of see some of these heroes can really lock in and control fear. And you got to really be a dog to take them down. Oh, super chat, my bad.
$2 super chat from Trendy. Could it be better or worse if they were told in order? I look, I'll say this for me real quick. I think if you're gonna do that, that shows me a lot of faith that you have in your story. And I also think it's very interesting. You already know technically how it ends, and I'm always interested to see something that you know how it ends. Now get me there, and if you can get me there, well, that's a lot of praise toward the story. And I think that's what I'm an episode behind. 2B Hero X is doing very well. Minus the 2 episodes where it was a musical, but other than that, I'm chilling. I'm with you, Miles. The singing, I'm good on the singing, bro. I don't care if they're supposed to be bad or not, Riddell. I'm good on that. I need to give me something else.
I was gonna say I like how they're telling this story. We got with E-Soul and the Commoner, how they gave us like a full-fledged kind of a character introduction. We got to really see their full story arc in their limited screen time. And I like how now that they're transitioning to these new characters, we're not going to get it all in one spiel. And with the introduction of each new hero, we might get information that can help us fully flesh out the idea of characters we have seen previously. Like Lucky Cyan is starting to kind of move up my ladder a little bit, getting a lot of the additional, like seeing how she's influencing Queen and seeing all the additional stuff that we didn't get in her episodes.
I'm glad you said that. I have to interrupt here because I said this in the reaction. By end of series, if old boy is not the end of series X, I low-key think Lucky Cyan will end up being X by the end of 2B Hero X. The way she influences everybody, her ability, I still think we saw what Queen could do. Queen is a dog. I straight up dog, knows how to fight. But Cyan seems like she has the most broken ability that's not named X in the series. And the way she inspires people via her singing, the music that you guys hate, is going to be very powerful throughout 2B Hero X. So Cyan stocks are going to be very high. Also, I like how they're doing it. I like how they're telling the narrative as well. I like how they're expressing everything. I low-key don't even know, Random, if the beginning of what we saw is the end. The big mystery seems very clear. Who is X? Who is he? What is he? And I saw something by accident when I was rewatching the opening, and I put it in the Discord for someone if they saw it. There is a moment in the opening where there's X, and I don't know if anybody here saw it because you only see this character in the ESOL character trailer. The big
impact,
villain.
the impact frame.
I don't know what that means. What do you mean?
When he snaps.
Oh, I'm talking about a specific character.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Talking about Rock.
No. So I'm talking about, so in the ESOL character trailer, there's a very important villain that is like bald. He looks like a menace. When I was watching the opening, there's we see ESOL. Then 1 second later, they pan to that villain. And it's very quick. And I happen to see it because I was editing. And then low-key makes me think ESOL might just be the villain. He might be that. I think the theory is that villain that caused ESOL. Okay, I think the villain that caused ESOL to be X, the number one X. He's whatever happened between those two. That villain could now just be X right now, but we'll see. I'm gonna show you the clip so you know exactly what I'm talking about because I don't know if everybody kind of knows what villain I'm referring to.
Okay, I got you. I was gonna save the To Be Hero X talk for after, but are we good?
Yeah, we good.
All right then. So the big topic that we're gonna discuss on this pod was a phase Clan episode, who I'm not really familiar with. I've heard about them, but I don't really know who they are. Phase Clan had a Jubilee style video. By the way, real quick, did Jubilee discover probably one of the more influential ways to make content, and now everybody else is just kind of doing it? Because you could do that with everything. Because House of Highlights does it now with sports topics. Obviously, Phase with what they're doing, and Jubilee doing what they're doing. I'm gonna do your segment right before we get to the main topic, Randa. Lonnie, don't worry about that. My bad. Jesus Christ. But real quick, what do you think, Miles?
Maybe I remember a lot of like smaller content creators doing that on a smaller scale though. I remember Sneeko doing his like in the train station style interviews with people with that Jubilee style format, among other creators. So they might have got the sauce and ran with it, but I wouldn't necessarily credit them with like the creators of it. But they definitely popularized it for sure. Even though I feel like Jubilee, their shit kind of sucks. They be having bots up there.
Yeah, I got you. I completely agree, but I was just saying. But the big phase one was, is streaming bigger, or is streaming harder to do than a 9-to-5 job? Riddell, I saw that you made a video on it. I have not watched it yet because I wanted to just lay out and let you and Miles, whoever else, talk about it. Also, I'm going to open this up to anybody from the chat if they want to pull up and talk about this. I think this is a very interesting topic. Now, Miles, you watched the full 45-minute video. I watched the full 45-minute video. And I was kind of frustrated because there were many points where constructive conversation was being had, and then somebody would start trolling. Like, I don't know the black dude's name, but when that restaurant guy, the restaurant server, pulled up, he just started saying like, "Are you saying this because I'm black?" I'm like, this guy's racist. And I was like, all right, bro, then I guess I'm good.
So my main overarching thing, at the end of the day, those guys are all content creators. They're there to make content, and that's where I think a lot of the trolling comes from. The old people were trolling as well too. Like I feel like there was a heavy target on those. I'm not saying it like this to you, right? But I'm saying I feel like there's like a heavy influx of hate towards those guys because they were trolling. When those old motherfuckers, not only were they not understanding what those guys were saying, they were laughing, they were trolling, they were doing a lot of the same things that the Phase boys were doing. That's my first thing. My second thing is, and I'm gonna just keep it simple until we go into the back and forth. I think anytime you're looking to be an entrepreneur in damn near everything, where there's no clear defined path, sure, you could look at the people before you and kind of learn from their mistakes and things like that. But at the end of the day, you're paving your own way. You're doing trial and error with no type of safety net, no blowback protection. I'm going to always say that's harder than a 9 to 5. You can go to college. You can study something. I'm going to be honest. If you have a degree and you can't find a job, kudos to you. Because I apply, I get a job. It's not hard for me. So that's neither here nor there. My point being is there's clear framework for you to get gainful employment, keep gainful employment, and continuously make money with assurances. You find a good company, not even multiple companies. You get a stacking 401k, might be gone, but you get a stacking 401k for now. You can retire. You can live your life. There's a very clear defined path there. When you're an entrepreneur, you don't know what the fuck could happen. You could be on top of the moon. You could crumble the next day. You can never get to the top of the moon. And you have to face that brunt on yourself. So I didn't want to, like Riddell said, me and him might wind up agreeing, but I used the example in the Instagram chat to kind of make my point. Doing this full time and not working, nigga, I'd be dead. I like to eat. I'm a big boy. Wouldn't be able to eat. Wouldn't be able to pay the rent. Wouldn't be able to have my superpowered internet, my big ass PC setup, because I'm trying to make something, and there's no guarantee. That's all. And I feel like those old people couldn't grasp that concept.
Oh, the lunch lady was talking greasy. I was like, what? You of all people should not be talking. Absolutely. You should not be talking. But let's go ahead and Riddell, I know you was on one side of the issue. Miles, you're on the other side. Santo, Ty, I don't know how you feel about this. And once again, everybody, because I want a few people to join in on this conversation. I posted the link in the chat. But go ahead and pull up and let's just have a conversation. So who wants to start it off about why certain, actually, you know what, Riddell, you start off because you made a whole video kind of reacting you made a whole reaction video reacting to the actual video. So why do you take the stance that you take?
I mean, there's really no stance. When it comes down to this, there's two talking points here. And I'm not really interested. This is not directed to anybody here, but I'm not really interested in some of the kind of trolling aspects of a conversation like this. And my thing is, the expectation for me, the average worker going into a setting made for content with people who honestly do this type of stuff for a living, my expectations is the content creators should be able to roll over everybody besides the only guy that I saw that seemed like he's at the very least qualified to have nuanced conversations was the professor. Other than that, nobody else. They're just average workers. I'm not expecting them to be able to understand this deep nuances of the differences of the occupations. Ultimately, when it comes to acquiring the position, becoming an entrepreneur is way harder than acquiring a 9 to 5. Bar none. That is just objectively true. That is simple. My perception when I was looking at this is that they were arguing from the stance, from the little stuff that I did see, because it started being stupid and I didn't feel like watching anymore, is that they were arguing that their lifestyle was harder than the lifestyle of someone who works a 9 to 5. And
Could it not be?
Huh?
Could it not be?
Sure, there could be exceptions.
I'm not talking about exceptions. I'm saying in general, could it not be?
So in general, I think 9 to 5 in general is harder than a streamer.
Why?
One aspect, of course, is that one thing to consider when you deem something hard or when you deem something difficult is something that you also don't want to do at the same time. A lot of the people who work a 9 to 5, one, more than likely, do not enjoy the thing that they are doing for the 8 hours that they are doing it, which is the typical work day. Two, depending on the amount of wage that they're getting, they are doing something they don't like, and then not being able to afford anything nice, which includes obviously your bills. Maybe you have a family, so you have to pay for your kids, food, a bunch of other stuff. So you're doing something you don't like. The things that you are doing is not really giving you a fruitful career enough for you to live a fruitful, enjoyable life. And a lot of these people end up miserable and blaming society. And that's one of the big reasons why our current, I'm going to leave it here. I don't want to enter into the political stuff because that's where this stuff enters into. ultimately, streaming is something that is very hard to become successful in. Undeniable, extremely hard. But once you are successful, at the very least, you know for a fact that you can pay for a lot of these different things that you want to buy. And the key point, you're doing something you enjoy. And a lot of these people don't even have to do it 40 hours a week. They could do it 3 hours and then clip up and then create content. There's so many different strategies. So it's not easy. I think it's ridiculous to say it's easy. But when it comes to lifestyle, if you're making the same amount of money for both, streaming is not as hard as a 9 to 5 for the most part, generally.
My only pushback to what you said was in terms of what you said about they don't like what they're doing. We've seen multiple artists and streamers come out and say that they don't like doing this. So it's on the same realm as a 9 to 5. Like, we don't enjoy what we're doing, but we have to do it because this is how we eat. Like, I just don't want it to be like because they can afford these things or a certain lifestyle that they are content or happy, because we've seen a lot of cases where it's the quite opposite.
Santo, most people can't even afford or do that lifestyle. They're an upper echelon percent of the percent of people that stream. There's people out here broke streaming, right? The people that were on that panel were very highly successful streamers. The amount of people who are out here streaming, not making no fucking money, streaming for 5 years at a time, that's all they do, having to move cribs, struggling to keep a house over their head and food in their mouth. Like, just because I'm doing something I don't like doesn't mean that me being broke is not affecting me the same way. So I don't think that's fair. Hunger is hunger, my nigga. If I can't eat, I can't eat. It don't matter if I'm doing what I like.
And you also had one of the FaZe guys says that I don't even like streaming anymore in the video itself.
Right. And then I think when you're working a 9 to 5, you're at the mercy of maybe your boss or your corporate standards. Very select amount of people. Being a content creator at any level, you're at the mercy of your community. And people in general are fickle, right? So you have to constantly predict, how can I get these people coming around? How can I get new people to come around? I think that's a very hard thing to do. You have to deal with negative comments and hate. Niggas in your DM saying negative shit. You got to deal. Let's say you do get popular, not being able to live a normal life that you once had before. People approaching you in the street. Your family possibly being in danger. Like, I think people are vastly underestimating how hard streaming is just because they see the top names. You don't see random streamer X number 31 streaming all day for 0 viewers who's been doing this for his 3rd year.
By the way, $5 super chat from Angie. Streaming isn't hard. It's the getting an audience part that's tough.
That's not the job.
The market is saturated where if you don't do crazy-ish, you won't be seen.
So is this conversation okay? So this is where I'm a little confused. Is the conversation entrepreneurship in general or just streaming?
They just focus on streaming.
It's just streaming, Ty. But being a streamer, you're building your own business.
No. I'm just trying to understand, because I feel like the reason I asked that distinction is because if we're taking all 9 to 5s, I feel like that's kind of hard to compare to just streaming. So, for example, that's why I think if you're talking about entrepreneurship in general, then sure. Like, for example, the accounting firm I work for, the people that started it back in like the 80s, they were entrepreneurs. And they did tax returns and all these things, and they had to build their company up to make it to this mega firm that they today. That was extremely difficult. I'm not saying the streaming isn't, but that's an example of hard entrepreneurship. That job, what they did to build my firm, is harder than my job. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But so I think that, to me, if you're thinking in general, I think it depends. What are you doing as an entrepreneur? What's your 9 to 5? For example, one of my hardest jobs I ever had when I was a kid working 9 to 5, I was a tree cutter. I helped my uncle cut trees. That shit was hard, bro. Like that.
Hell no.
That was genuinely, like, I'm talking about hours picking up law. Like, that shit was hard. But so I think it depends. But if you're talking about strictly streaming, if you're talking about, like you said, getting put on, or once you're put on, my current day to day, is that harder than? I mean, I don't know what 9 to 5 are we comparing it to. You feel me? Like,
So they had in the video, they had multiple different kinds. They had a high-end restaurant server, they had a mailman, they had a nurse, they had a lunch lady, they had a college professor. Now, the thing that really pissed me off, Miles, was the nurse one. When they're like, would you rather do a 24-hour stream or 24 hours of open heart surgery? And I'm like, my mom was a nurse, so I know the struggle. Oh,
So-
$5 super chat from Sauce. I tell people all the time, I was talking to myself for a year when I started streaming. So that's my I mentioned it again, Miles, you agree. There are plenty of times where a great conversation could have been had. Like, for instance, the one guy who walked up, I think his name was Ethan or Evan, when he's like, you guys don't work hard. It's the guys that you hire who work hard. And I'm like, that's like half truth. That's like half true. But at the same time, to even say that when they were like, we save more lives than y'all. I'm like, do you understand how hard open heart surgery is? Like the fact that they were just like, oh, a doctor's going to school for years to do just that, let alone other things. And I'm like, you're just poo-pooing that. Like, that's the only reason I'm mad about, because at some points I was like, I wasted my time watching this video. But there are other times where I was like, okay, it's just like, no, I wish they did. I wish they just kind of did something where they were like, here's $2 super chat from Angie Carr. Streaming is for the enduring, not for the swift. I agree. My only thing is just like, I wish they just kind of like saw what everybody does. If they went and saw the nurse work, if those people saw what the streamers put in, because there is points on both sides. Doing a 24-hour subathon or whatever the subathon thing was, that's insane. That's days on days for a month that you're streaming every single day. You have to figure out something to do every day. You got to be like we said when we stream.
Your ass to sleep with a camera on you. You can't even properly go to sleep.
Yeah,
like,
and like we said before,
depends.
yeah, like I said before, and then I'll let you go. Streaming is not for everybody. You can be like, you got to be charismatic. There's a reason it's hard. Like what Kai Snat's doing is very hard. It's very hard to do what he's doing. I understand all that, like, but even the Elden Ring stream, like, bro was having some, like, I would never have thought of like, let me go get a therapist to help me fucking beat this boss. Like, and sure, you can poo-poo that, but he's doing this because he always has to be on. Like, and when his switch always has to be turned on. And I think people really underestimate that. Now, are there certain jobs where it's just harder? Absolutely. Being a nurse is harder.
Sure.
And one thing that they said in the video, which was wrong, America always needs nurses. Ty, all of y'all could quit your job right now, go be a nurse, and you'll get a job, because they always need nurses. Because being a nurse is very hard. Now, like the lunch lady, I'm like, I'm sorry, ma'am, you're a lunch lady. You're not in the school. You're not in the goddamn classroom teaching these kids ABCs or multiplication tables.
Nasty,
you're a
right?
lunch lady. Like the way, Ty, if you saw how she was talking, if you saw how she was talking, it was greasy and laughing.
No, I feel you. That was a little nasty.
Just to answer Leroy's question real quick, didn't most of the streamers live with their parents with no bills, by the way? This ties into what Random was saying about the lunch lady. You literally had, I think Lacey is his name. He was literally explaining to her, like, yo, I worked at Foot Locker and I worked at Walmart overnight at the same time. And she laughed at him. The 9 to 5 working with a hard ass job, you got him trying to relate to you on the same level. I work too, and she laughs at him. So, like, what the fuck are we doing here? I think the biggest injustice they did was not having like non-famous streamers there.
Mm-hmm.
They should have had streamers from across the spectrum the same way they had occupations from across the spectrum. To make a more even-keeled conversation.
It's all about the intentionality of the conversation, which is why this conversation seems so disingenuous to me, because I only could speak on the people involved and what they were saying. The fact that one of the first things that I heard is that my life is hard because I have to go to parties. It's just not. It's not a real conversation about the difficulty of what the average I'm gonna have to bring it up. The average American would have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. Now, is there a genuine conversation? Sure. That's why when I said to become a successful streamer is harder, I think that's just the objective truth. That's the reality. Of course it is, because there's so much to it. But if we brought two individuals who made the same exact money 9 to 5 streamer, making the same exact types of money, and they go through their life. I think the other aspect is the extra stuff. All the stuff where this person is enjoying their life. They don't have to work as much because typically streamers, I mean, yeah, there's 24-hour subathons, but that's not the norm. Typically streamers only stream a few hours, then they use all that to clip it or put it on a YouTube channel, and then they get revenue in a bunch of different ways. There's a lot to it, of course, but this is something that you chose to do. You chose this occupation. A lot of people, they have ambitions, they have dreams. It just doesn't work out. They have a degree. They thought they were getting this job, and they end up working at McDonald's.
That sounds like a skill issue.
I'm about to say
that's just the disingenuous part, because
we're
not talking about the person's capability of getting a job. We're talking about the person, what they're doing versus the person, what the other person's doing. And the way they go about it, there's a more difficulty because this guy's a failure. He is. I agree. He is a failure. And he's going to struggle because of it. So to compare that against someone who's doing what they want to do, making money from it.
Not making money from it. You keep you accelerating the process.
No,
Here's the whole road.
No, my analogy was very clear.
$5 super chat from Angie Carr. Shout out to Angie Carr. She's the GOAT. And to make sure, I'm going to post a link in the chat again for anybody who wants to come up and join this conversation. But Angie Carr, $5 super chat. Streaming attracts one's looking for the easy road, but find out the big hitters weren't popular day one. It's tough, but the reward is what is enticing.
Sure. In my analogy, Miles, I said if they made the same amount of money. That's why I use that to outline the difference in what they're doing.
I'll take my 9 to 5 any day versus a streamer making the same amount of money.
To be honest with you, I'm to make. Go ahead, Miles.
People talking about how hard it is to climb up the ladder. The higher you climb, the less work you do. I don't do shit at my job. I make great money. I don't do shit. I walk in. I come late every fucking day. I come in my air-conditioned office. I sit my ass down, and I don't do shit. And I get a wage for it. A streamer can't not do shit and get a wage.
Well, there's a lot of streamers who just react to content and get a wage.
Yeah, and niggas aren't making no chicken.
Yeah, and then there's people who don't have that type of job you do, and they work some shitty 9 to 5 job.
Okay, but
they're making guaranteed money.
That's why
a shitty streamer don't make shit. A shitty job, you get something. You can live.
I already agreed. You keep on coming back. I said to become successful, it's harder. Yes, I agree.
Okay.
All right, hold on, y'all. Can we Ty, go ahead. You've been wanting to get it off.
This is why I said I feel like even if I think something could be harder to make money, but not necessarily the job itself, what you're actually doing may be harder. That's why I said, and that could depend. I think there are some 9 to 5s that are harder than streaming, some jobs that is not hard than streaming, right? That's why I said if you expand to entrepreneurship in general, I do think entrepreneurship in general is harder because all these major companies that we see around were started by an entrepreneur, right? Like whoever made McDonald's, whoever made Burger King, whoever made Chipotle or Xbox, these are all entrepreneurs coming together to make a product of something, right? So I do think that in general is harder because what they built these things up to become, I think, is crazy. So I mean, if you're talking about that in general, but I don't. It's kind of hard for me to just take one occupation and compare it to tons, where it just depends on what the job is. You feel me? Like,
so look, I'll say this. I think somebody else should have this conversation again, Miles. But do with the things that you said. Go get streamers from every different sizes to have them talk, because I think that is very important, because everybody walked in there with a certain preconceived notion and wanted to perform for the camera instead of actually having a conversation, because both sides showed their ass at one point. But there are things that FaZe said, like maybe at one point they started streaming because they loved it. Like, for instance, I love video games. I love it. I love them. I play them all the time. But if I play video games for my job, I lose the passion. Because now I'm like, man, I have to play Doom the Dark Ages because I have to do it for my job, not just because I want to play the game. Those are things. So you have to find that balance. I think that's important. This is also because streaming has exploded such in popularity that a lot of the older people don't understand, where they're just like, oh, you're just getting paid to play a game. No, obviously that's true. That's part of it. You also have to be charismatic. You also have to be good at it, because like, do you see the ones, oh, I beat fucking Dark Souls on level 1 with a Guitar Hero controller. I'm like, I don't need that kind of stress in my life, bro. But congratulations, man. Like the dude who did Let Me Solo Her, who fought Melania with a fucking bucket and a loincloth and a sword. I'm
Thousands
good.
of times.
That's insane. But the fact that you can also get recognition for that, like when he beat Melania for like the 1,000th time, From Software sent him like a fucking sword, like his actual sword that he uses in the game,
And a statue of himself.
and a statue of himself. So that's insane. But those are the fucking outliers. Nobody cares about the dude. Like there's ironically, there's this one reel that I saw. This dude, he's on OnlyFans, but he's just a Hawaiian dude who fixes up boards for other people and he streams it, right? And then some dude donated like $20 and he just looked up like, bro, I don't need that. And he sent the money back to him. But even people like that guy gets it. But there's another dude who's grinding. He wants to do it. He wants to go to Streamers University next year, and maybe just certain things just don't work your way. And I think the uncertainty of streaming is what people do not understand. I think that's where I'm at. The complete uncertainty, because everybody $5 super chat for Magic Card because she dropping money today. Streaming is betting big with little to no guarantees. Paints a warped image that anyone is one stream away, where traditional work rewards merit. I would say streaming, if you're like, for instance, if you're a really good streamer, you will also get the merit as well. Like Kaisen, I'll use Kaisen as the example. Kaisen just didn't get there because he got, obviously there's a little bit of luck involved, but the man is charismatic. He knows how to match with his audience, and he's also always giving them something new. Like the more and more I think about it, Streamers University was such an ambitious concept. I don't know if he's going to do it again, but it was such an ambitious concept, and I don't know who else could do that. Obviously, your 9 to 5 is not going to allow you to attempt something like that unless you're in a very high up position. And the same thing with streaming. I just think people just don't understand the struggles of streaming
at all.
The same way you understand your traditional 9 to 5. That's just where I'm at.
For sure. I think it's fine to articulate all the stuff you have to do. There's so much to it. Of course, I'm sure, we know that. Articulate it, explain it, because that path of how you get to where you get, I mean, this is not necessarily the same in terms of streaming, but content creation, for the most part, is the same. Mr. Beast has articulated. He had a whole game plan, talked about it, tried to give it to people, and everything you have to do. There's a lot of work to it. Of course there is. And I think it's fine to do that. But the way you approach the conversation also matters. If you're approaching it, making it seem like what I'm doing is harder than what you're doing, then of course the other person's not going to listen to you.
That's true too.
Look, it was a very interesting conversation to have. And like I said, I hope somebody, like for instance, I hope Jubilee or somebody more serious actually has this conversation, because I think there is a conversation to be had there. This is the new wave for how with every new generation, something new is put into society that changes the workforce. This is it for this generation. Maybe streaming is, and YouTube and content creation.
Jubilee, if y'all do that, bring me up, man. I'll fight for the streamers.
I mean, okay. So we also have to articulate the difficulties of it. The best way to compare streaming is to people like professional athletes or musicians or people like that, where there's so much to it, there's so much luck to it. Most of y'all are not going to be successful. So we can't make it seem like it's a situation where it's like, hey, the kid is about to grow up. I'm going to be a streamer. I'm going to be a streamer. That's another part about it. Now, what streaming can do, and this is what I propose on my political podcast, is that streaming can be a way of potential revenue for people who work normal jobs, but also showcase their lifestyle. That way, because streaming, I'm gonna be honest, yeah, streaming is hard, but someone could just do their job in a stream and then they might get views from it. So like the aspect of streaming isn't that hard depending on how you do it. If more people kind of looks at it like that, like restaurant owners and people or waiters, people who work freaking the person you said does the wood, people who chop trees, all those people can just stream, get that extra revenue because people find anything entertaining as long as it's something they've never seen before. It's all the uniqueness, and obviously the personality plays into it eventually. Also, attractiveness helps as well. But there are ways streaming could be a really interesting revenue in our capitalist society. But we're not having that conversation with people who are trying to make the claims that FaZe was making.
Okay, they were the wrong people to have this conversation. But Drink More Water, I'd love for you to come up here and defend this topic because I disagree. I think Kai Cenat is incredibly talented for what he does.
I think a lot of them are extremely.
A lot of them. You cannot be as big as Kai Cenat is, or you can't. To even, let's just say this is a side job for you, Miles, where look, I go on here, let's just say I make an extra grand a month from just streaming, and it's just my supplemental income. I think to even get that, you have to be talented.
That's
that means
crazy grind.
Sure, but if the same claim is that most people fail, then generally most of them are untalented. Because like 80-90% of these people fail.
But I'll say this. Okay, let's use McDonald's as a substitute. If
That's
you're not,
right.
yeah, but hold on, let me just get this off. If you've been at McDonald's for 5 years and you're still a fry cook, if you still working the fries, you're untalented, my boy. You're untalented.
I was about to say, do you think that? Okay, so are you saying so? Like, what do you think about like professional sports then? Because most people who try to be a professional athlete,
okay, let's keep it a stack.
Yeah, are they untalented?
If you're in the NBA, you are fucking talented. Like if you're the 12th guy on the bench in the NBA, you're still fucking talented. Was it the one where some dude talked shit to Jose Alvarado and he fucking cooked him in a one-on-one game? Like Brian Scalabrine, when he said that I am closer to LeBron than you are to me, he's fucking right. Just because he's not fucking scoring 20 points, he's a
I was just asking that because I obviously it's not fully analogous, but if the idea is that since a lot of
the idea is that if you don't make it, you're not untalented. The idea for me is that if you don't make it in streaming, then at that in the generalized term of untalented, because everybody has individual skills and that's semantics. I'm not trying to talk about that. So that is what I'm referring to, because streaming is something that anybody can pick up a camera and start streaming. Anybody can do that.
Just because you can do it doesn't
it's
mean
not understanding how that means they're untalented though.
Like that's where I'm at. Like I'm not
that
I'm not
untalented word is very harsh. What do y'all mean by they're untalented?
So if we're thinking of a quality that differentiate yourself from the norm, that's what I'm referring to. That's why I said if
that can apply to anything though.
If we're getting into the semantics of a skill that any individual person may have that's not established to make a career out of, then we're getting into weird semantics because technically everybody has a skill, technically everybody has a talent, and if that's what we're arguing, then I'm not interested in that.
But so then I'm not understanding how you want to apply that specifically to streaming and not everything else then.
Because the aspect when it comes to streaming, a lot of people can again just turn on a camera and start streaming.
I can walk to McDonald's right now and flip burgers.
If we are not everybody can flip burgers, but okay. Let me. I'm not gonna.
No. Let's do it. No, Sensei. I want you to explain to me. Anybody can walk in, unless you don't got hands, unless you don't have a fucking arm or something. You can walk into McDonald's and flip a burger.
Hey man, but not everybody my nigga SpongeBob though. So let's not too much.
Hold on. But he might low key be the GOAT. He might low key be the GOAT.
You know what I'm saying? Not too much. Not too much. My nigga SpongeBob got it.
I want to be clear when it comes down to it.
Okay.
What I'm referring to, because when it comes to the burger stuff, sure, everybody can flip a burger. I agree with that. The thing about the skill set of being talented in regards to what streaming is that you don't have to have necessarily any talent to just get viewership, because there can be opportunities, there can be times where maybe you know the right people, where maybe you get lucky, maybe this one clip goes viral, goes crazy, and then you start a career. Where if you're just flipping burgers all day at McDonald's, no matter how good you can flip a burger at McDonald's, you ain't getting paid more. Nothing's
No,
gonna come out of it.
No, but they can see that you're good at flipping burgers and you can make more burgers faster than anybody, and they can decide that maybe you might be suited in a role that could be management, or you could be suited in a role where you're teaching other niggas how to do what you're doing.
That's not burger flipping related. That's
No,
a different
no,
business.
No, but it's showing a transferable talent that can be taken somewhere else. That's the point. I'm not understanding.
Flipping burgers is not going to be transferring to managerial position.
Sure, but if you're flipping burgers faster or more efficiently than everybody else, can that not take you somewhere?
No, there's a lot of times where it doesn't.
So,
but
the same way there's times that streaming doesn't take you nowhere. That's the point.
I know. The difference is that there are opportunities that when it comes down to flipping the burger faster, that they're not going to hire you because you flip burgers faster. They're going to hire you because of your work ethic. No, they're going to because of the work ethic. That's not
one of McDonald's and they talk about no work ethic. I know niggas that get high on their lunch break at McDonald's behind the whole shit. It's not about work ethic. You go to McDonald's because you need a body. No. My overarching argument with you is that you're being disingenuous towards streaming because anybody can walk into somewhere and get gainful employment. You can do that.
Oh, I agree to that.
Why is it being untalented, being subscribed to them and only to streamers? Can you tell me that?
Because an untalented person who's working the baseline minimum wage job that's doing that skill over and over and over again, that skill is not going to take them anywhere. What may take them anywhere is the fact that they're willing to work super hard and be that a fast, efficient person. That's not the skill of the flipping burger. That's the aspect of having the ability or the want to work very hard for this minimum wage job. When it comes to streaming, there's always the capacity to go viral, go crazy. Fuck, that girl who said, what did she say? That stupid line where it's like,
how often does that happen? You're speaking of an anomaly of the absolute.
That's the point. That's the point I'm making. That there's always that ability, regardless if you have talent or not, to go viral, start getting a bunch of viewership, and not be talented.
You saw the hot Tua girl?
That girl.
She's broke, and she's broke.
Yeah, she broke, and she left her husband.
She lost everything because of something that she said. She lost it all in the night. It's gone.
Yeah. But she got super freaking big, got a whole podcast, was meeting all these celebrities purely because she said some fucking phrase.
Riddell.
That's the aspect of content creation.
Riddell. I want you to meet me. I want you to meet me on this. We're walking down the street together. I want you to meet me at Starbucks. Hear what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
The same way anyone can pick up a phone. It don't take no skill to pick your phone up. It don't take no skill to pick up trash. It don't take no skill to sweep a barbershop. It don't take no skill to bag some groceries. Why are they called untalented, but the streamer is?
I already agreed with that. That's why I added the extra element of the potentiality of success, of gaining a lot of not only notoriety, fame, but also money. You can gain all that being untalented when it comes to content creation because of the chance of becoming viral for X, Y, and Z. Having the skill of sweeping is not taking you anywhere, no matter how good of a sweeper you are.
How you know that?
I just said there. Okay,
how do you know that?
Hold on. $2 super chat from Angie. What?
How do you know that?
Fellas, $2 super chat. And Angie doesn't want y'all to talk right now. What XQC does isn't the same as what Kai Cenat does, though.
I agree.
Well, maybe now XQC was a top Overwatch player, a skill that he built up over time and literally reinvented how people played the game. That's how he got famous. So yeah, now he's just a reacting scrub who just steals content and just has it on while he's eating food or whatever the fuck else he's doing. But he had a skill that less than 0.1% of the population has. He was good at Overwatch. That's how he got to where he's at. I want to drink more water. I appreciate you for standing on it because I'm not sure.
The same thing,
Riddell, but I'm not sure why the fuck it matters. Why was it brought up in the first place? That's why I'm confused. If they're all fucking untalented, why are we singling out the streamers and not the fucking nigga that's bagging groceries? That's my fucking point. Who gives a fuck? They're all untalented. That's the point.
Well, I mean, I don't know why it was brought up because I wasn't the one who brought it up.
Sure, but you defended it.
Of course, because the extra element still applies. That's the
And
difference.
the extra element, you can't be a nigga sweeping in Trump Tower or something. You can't return somebody's wallet or an anomaly situation happen.
That's not related to your skill. No, you returning a wall is not related to
streaming is. You can get buzzed from being streaming for anything. You can bust your ass in a train station and go viral.
Exactly. You can go viral for anything. That's the point. You can't go viral for
Riddell, do you realize you're saying exactly to both things?
What?
Do you realize that you're saying exactly to both scenarios? You realize this, right?
You can't go. Wait, you can't. When you're sweeping, the only way you can go viral is if someone records you.
I'm not talking about virality.
No, how you saying this person who sweeps?
Because I'm saying anomalies. I'm saying anomalies can happen to anyone.
What anomaly is you sweeping becoming super successful?
Hold on. Nigga, you sweeping? You find Donald Trump's wallet?
Hold on, Sato, I got you.
That's not related to the skill. That's just you giving someone to a wallet.
Getting viral from streaming is the point, brother. Getting viral from streaming is you're missing the point.
No, because the streaming is constant.
Riddell, you're focused on the word virality. Virality. You're talking about the ability for a streamer to have an anomaly happen to where their one clip goes viral. Their one whatever goes viral. You, as a regular everyday person, you don't know who you can meet and who you can interact with that has nothing to do with your skill and that can substantially change the course of your life. They're both anomalies. So I don't understand why the fuck it's looked as a negative for the streamer and for the average worker. It's like, oh, it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter.
Because, no, because the skill in these two conversations we're having.
And Leroy, that's a lie. That's a blatant lie. That's a lie.
The skill in this scenario is turning on the camera and creating the content. The skill of the individual, the other individual who is working the 9 to 5 is sweeping. So the person who's creating the content has any opportunity.
It is, Lonnie. It is.
All right, hold on. Lonnie's here. We don't got him for long. Lonnie, go ahead. Lonnie, go ahead.
It is.
For instance, so you're saying like just the sweeping part, but you're taking apart, you're taking away all the parts that go into it. You're taking apart the time management skills and the people skills.
Because we're talking about one skill. Why am I talking about other skills?
I'm saying like you're just saying like, oh,
they're talking about the fucking occupation, Riddell. Not one skill.
You're talking about flipping burgers.
For example.
Fucking occupation.
So you were saying like, oh, like it only takes one chance to go viral. When I was working out at a restaurant, you know how many different job offers I got because they saw, oh, I saw your time management. I saw the way that you dealt with that customer. I saw the way you were doing that. I saw the way that you were handled that. The people
and
skills
I brought that up when I talked about work. I said if there's other things not related to the burger flipping, the untalented skill.
But the thing is, you can't just if they see the work ethic, an actual skill, the two things.
And Lonnie, and that's what he wants to do. That's what he wants to do. And he doesn't want to apply all of the extra shit to the streamer that caused them to go viral. Maybe they're funny and the clip was funny and it went viral. Being funny is a skill. Being an artist and drawing on stream is a skill. These are all skills. What I'm saying is, why are you looking at the streaming aspect of blowing up and saying that's negative, but the idea of somebody but the children of somebody isn't?
For instance, for streaming purposes,
hold on, Ty. We'll let you go afterwards. Let Lonnie finish.
We literally
the more you stream, the more experience you get.
Was that funny?
The more experience you get with streaming, the more you get to learn how to interact with it.
You doesn't mean funny to people. Everybody in the world, my nigga. Mad people found that shit funny. They still say,
you got it.
You could put it in rap songs and everything. So I don't know why I got it because you don't think it's funny. You don't think all these millions of motherfuckers didn't. She went for a reason.
You don't believe her saying Hatua was a talented
yeah, but I'm not the motherfucker in the world. I'm not everyone in the world.
Miles, hold on. Lonnie, go ahead, and then
I'm saying in regards to streaming, it's not just turn on the camera. It's like eventually you learn how to interact with the chat. You learn what grabs people's attention. You learn how to be more charismatic. Like you gain skills while streaming. It's not just one chance to go viral. So like you just it just sounds like very disingenuous how you're just isolating.
I brought all
they're
that
just
up.
sleeping.
You weren't even listening to the full conversation.
I was listening this whole
brought
time.
up
I've
all
been
of
listening
that
the past
stuff.
like 30 minutes.
I said the full conversation. We've been talking about this longer than 30 minutes. I already
I've been
brought up
watching
all
since before the
that
segment.
stuff.
I've been watching
Hold
since
on.
before the
Hold
segment.
on.
So
We've been talking about this. We've been talking about this for about 40 minutes. Lonnie's
Yeah,
been
I've been watching
Lonnie's
since, like,
been here the
I've
whole
been watching
time.
since
He's been here the whole time.
He's been here the whole time. He's been
That's
listening. He's been watching the show the whole time.
Let's all get this shit off, man.
That's what. Just one question. This is very much might be a side tangent, but like we talked about like things like nursing or being a lawyer. My sister's a lawyer. They work her to the bone. What is the high end for like a streamer? Like the difficulty of the occupation. What do y'all think? I don't know. I'm asking.
I think
So
what
let's say this conversation. We saw like burger flipping is more so like not as hard, but I'm
I
saying like
believe it's
Yeah, sure.
different stressors, Ty.
We-
I believe
you-
like they
you're
deal
smart.
with different things at different levels. Like
no, I understand. I'm just asking if y'all could think of one. I don't know what I'm asking. Like things like being a nurse is one of the hardest 9-to-5s, or like regular jobs. Being a lawyer is being a construction worker, things like that. So what
that's
is
like
the-
that's high end 9-to-5s, right?
right. So what's like the high end streamer? Like we know the floor is what a streamer. What's
So
the
a
high
high-end
end?
so a high-end streamer would be like worrying about getting swatted, worrying about like the hate that you get on chat, like worrying about sponsors and like worrying about how to like do this segment, that's way, learning how to be like how to keep up being relevant. Like
People approaching your family because of things that you might have said or stances you might stand in front of.
hell,
If I may,
like, it's
can I go?
different stress. It's like
Wait,
comparing, like,
go ahead,
it's like
Son.
comparing
Go ahead.
the top to like
No, let me clarify.
it's
Maybe-
different.
let
It's
me-
different stressors. So it's like
No.
it's hard to
Let
say
me
which
clarify.
one is harder.
Let me clarify what I mean.
Before you go, Ty. Before you
$2
go,
super chat.
$2 super chat.
Yeah,
Come on.
$2 super chat behind your card. The issue is no one wants to hear streamers cry, and I agree.
Well,
Yeah,
let me
'cause it's for entertainment.
wait. Let me
It's the same
clarify
thing,
what
it's the same thing, real quick, Ty. It's the same thing with athletes. How they like, they don't want to hear this. They don't want to hear about injuries, or like, they don't want people resting because they make all these millions. When it's like, it's different. So it's like, I'm not gonna compare like what a construction worker to a lawyer, because a construction worker, that's physical labor. A lawyer, that's mental labor. Those two things, like someone
They
can
can both be
putting
seen as
just much
hard.
effort physically as they are mentally. Like for streamers, they can be going through social strain compared to mental or physical strain. It's different things. So it's like comparing. So just like saying like downplaying one, when it's like it's different social settings. It's different. I don't know. Just downplaying is just disingenuous to me.
Okay.
What
Can
random
I go right
encounter?
quick?
Sancho, I just want to answer the question because these people, like, this is like a very dense, obtuse conversation. You're a construction worker, you lay in the brick. The foreman of the company comes in or whatever. You lay in the brick, Santo lay in the brick, Random lay in the brick, I'm laying in the brick. You finish your plot in 15 minutes. I finish mine in 2. Santo finishes in 30 minutes. Random finishes in 15. The nigga that finished in 5 catches the eye of the foreman. Yo, are you using a certain method to do this? How are you managing your time? Bah. Next thing you know, he values what you're saying. You can move up in the company. That's a random encounter. I have a random encounter in my job. I literally moved up for no reason, just because I showed the ability to handle more of a load than I was hired to do. And all the time.
Same.
Random, pause.
I got you.
Ty, can I just respond to your question, Ty?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me clarify.
I got
Let me
you.
clarify. I want to clarify my question. I don't think that my question.
No, because I think I have the answer to your question.
You're right. But just let me clarify for them too. My question wasn't necessarily the outside stressor. My question was more so the job itself, like the actual work you're doing. That's what I'm referring to. I understand the different things, but when I was talking about things like with a nurse, like my sister was a psych nurse. There are a lot of things outside of her job that are very difficult. But I'm talking about the work itself.
Okay.
What do you think the high end
Hey,
first?
chill out. Chill out. Drink more water.
So I think I have an answer that you would see valid. And also for Jay. Jelly Roll, the country artist, has this story that he met a door greeter who was a little person. And Jelly Roll has always said that if we got a jelly person, we need to carry them on tour. He is now on tour, on staff with them. So just a random encounter that can change your life. Also, Ty. So for a high-end streamer, in my opinion, this would be things that they would need to do. Understand lighting concepts, cameras, information about sound interfaces, technology, speech, how to properly speak in front of a camera. Also understanding. This goes into what Lonnie was saying as well, just understanding how to be social, how to network properly, how to market. All of these things are skills that they would have to develop on hand. Back to the practicality of it, understanding what sound interface works with this program. Also, programs in general. You can be using your OBSs, your StreamYards, all of that stuff is things learning how to do that. Graphic design, understanding layers, how to set up layers, how to edit videos, stuff like that is things that streamers at a high end have a good understanding of, and they're skills that you can't just walk into and have them right off the bat. It's things that
Okay.
take practice, things that you would have to improve on to be a successful streamer.
So look, I could say
Yeah.
this for me real quick. It just doesn't have to be streaming. Somebody could look at what me and Santo do every day and say, your job is easy. I just have to sit, you just have to sit in front of a computer and make stuff. Like, they don't understand. Like, Santo, I don't know about you. I went to college for me. Like, if I could do it all the way back, I wouldn't go to college. I think I could figure this out if I went to a trade school or some other design school, something like that. But what I do is there's a whole market. For instance, there's something we're going to talk about Mr. Beast at the end if we have time. But there is a whole market for people who just make thumbnails. That's what you could do to just. That's how you make your living, just making thumbnails or doing things like that. Like, I just think because it's streaming and they just see what Kai Cenat's doing, with that he's fucking around listening to a music video or Streamer University, or the fact that he did that thing with Elden Ring or whatever the hell he's doing, they just look at that and say, "Oh, I could do that." When you can't, like you just don't understand how the other side's living, and you're already assuming without even whether you're doing the work or not. I just think that's how it is. Obviously, to answer, the high-end streamer is Kai Cenat. If you're telling me that Kai Cenat does not know how to light stuff, what the right equipment to use, things like that, then you just think he's dumb. You just think he's absolutely dumb. And that's where I disagree with you.
I think the biggest thing that's going on is the word hard. And I think for streamers, a lot of it is coming from a more mental difficulty versus the 9 to 5, they're harping on the physical hardship. And I don't think they'll never agree on that, because I can say a streamer works hard. Like, there's a lot of research, there's a lot of skills that you do have to build to be a successful streamer. The whole thing of kind of minimizing it to like just putting a phone up and just go, it's that doesn't really that doesn't define what a streamer is. That's the bare minimum. Like, there's more to it than that.
That sounds like the people that are saying like, oh, being a streamer is easy. Is the same people are saying, telling NBA players all you have to do is play basketball all day. Like, it's not. That's not the same. Like, it's more new. There's more nuance than that. And like, how like, oh, your direct job, how does it equate to like you leveling up? For me, from my personal experience, before COVID hit, when I moved to the Maryland area, I worked at an Outback, and I started in the to-go area. They're like, oh, he can handle a lot of orders better than most people. Let's move him up to server. Oh, when I was the server, oh, he can handle more tables than everybody else. Let's move him up to bartender. And then they wanted to make me assistant manager. I wasn't doing that shit. But anyway, it's like, at the same time, like, you can't just say like, oh, being a streamer is for untalented, or I can't say like, oh,
That's my problem, money.
being a construction worker is just for unintelligent people, because I know some construction people that are low-key geniuses, and they can tell you how to be architect, like they can tell you how to build buildings and all types of shit. I was like, yo, I can't do that fucking shit. But at the same time, I know some construction workers, they're dumbasses, but they still make a hell lot of money. It's about like the stress level that you have is different. I think that based off your background is what people value. I feel like if you come from that blue collar family, you just assume, oh, unless you're like if you're not working with your hands, being being a lawyer, that's just easy. You're not really putting in work. And when I talk to rich people, if you're doing that type of stuff, to them that's easy. So I feel like it's really about people's backgrounds, and to me that's like kind of short-sighted.
I'm gonna make a abrasive statement. I don't care. It's not towards Riddell, so I don't want Riddell to get mad at me because I'm not talking to him. A lot of this conversation is so disingenuous because it's rooted in jealousy.
Cook.
Y'all see people turning on the computer. Y'all see them playing the game, and y'all see them making more fucking money than you wish you could, and you hating on them, not recognizing the amount of work, grind, and determination it took for them to fucking get there. Mm-hmm. The stuff I'm seeing in these comments, and I'm not going to point y'all out, y'all are saying some nasty ass shit. It's nasty out there. I want y'all to get a reality check and learn how this world works.
And what if I am jealous?
And Angie, he not talking to you. You just wild.
Then Ty, I want you to stop the statement on it.
W honesty.
I like transparency. Nigga, if you jealous and you a hating motherfucker, stand on that shit. But don't sit here and try to argue in bad faith and try to think you're gonna move a conversation forward. Because a lot of y'all niggas are just fucking capping in those comments. You're literally
real.
It's nigga talking about, oh, you can just sacrifice your morals, you'll instantly go viral. That is a blatant fucking lie.
I'll sacrifice my morals right now. I bet we won't go.
If that was possible, many more would have done it, and many more would be famous. I just think y'all would look into what it takes to be a streamer. Look at some of the faces and of the friends and people in your life that could be trying to do this thing, and see what they're struggling and what they're encountering with. My first job ever, I was unloading big ass tractor trailer trucks full of pallets for $8.25. I would rather do that than stream for $0. Simple. You know, there's not all of these streamers that are constant at FQC, Hassan Piker, etc. A nigga making Minecraft content, a nigga making this, a nigga making that. There's just not. There's niggas struggling to put food on the table and keep a roof over their head because they want to pick up that camera and they want to try something. That disingenuous shit. Y'all niggas are fucking bots.
Look, this was a fantastic conversation. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut some stuff.
I don't know if it was.
I think so.
Riddell, don't do that shit. Don't do that shit. Because
I'm gonna do that shit. I'm gonna say it again. I don't know if it was.
Look. I
maybe a lot of it went over your head.
It is that deep.
I think a lot of this went over your head.
It is that deep. It is that deep. Drink more water for you. A lot of y'all in the comments because y'all are easily discrediting people.
Conversation went over your head, Riddell, and that's okay.
I have this conversation all the time. Stop.
Well, yeah, I believe he does. That nigga's in politics. He has to have this type of conversation.
The reason why this conversation,
chill out, Edgy. Leave my boy Miles alone.
The reason why there's very few things that I'm like passionate about. Politics I take seriously because I think it's so important, and I'm not going to go political here. Don't trust. But the only reason why I care about this conversation in particular is because how many people I see, like, I don't want to say a certain name, but how many people I see who hate their life, working all the time, barely can afford all these different things, and then think that there's a savior who's going to save them from everything that they're going to save them from. And then when those people, and hey, I get pissed off at those people all the time. Like, bro, this guy's not the savior. This guy's not the savior. That's not how it works. I'm with you, Mom.
Yeah, just say Trump, nigga.
No, I'm not. Hey, I didn't say a name. I didn't say a name. The only thing is, I try to break it down. I try to go into details. I try to explain how everything works, and it doesn't matter because they feel a certain way. So if I'm trying to look out for these people and trying to convince them that these people are not going to save you from what you got going on, even though your life sucks, your life should be better. There should have better benefits. The healthcare program should be better. The way taxes should be used should be more efficient. All this different type of work. And then and that's why when it came to this particular conversation, I'm not focusing on the generalized streamer because I agree with Miles. We fundamentally agree there. But the people having these conversations are millionaires who has Lambos trolling these people so they can get more millions for content. So I'm like,
What does it have to do with?
Well,
the
I feel like
message,
it's
though?
just a disingenuous conversation from
Yeah.
them in particular, and
But we're not
it's not-
talking
it's
about
not-
them
it's
in
not-
terms of the core subject. We're talking about the subject, not them. Fuck them. I don't give a fuck what they think. We're talking about the core subject.
I agree.
Yeah.
If you like, that's why I said in the beginning that
We all agree, like, yeah, they were trolling. Yeah,
they were
trolling. But the
absolutely
core
trolling. You
subject,
cannot have this
no.
conversation with them.
Of course. So that's why I'm kind of looking out for them. As for this conversation, we've right from the start, we all agreed that becoming a streamer is more hard because of all the variety and the adherence to the algorithm, all that stuff. But when
So
we
was it
start comparing activities that they do versus what these other people do, generally, I don't think they're comparable. Now, I'm not saying it's not hard. I'm just saying it's not comparable. That's why it's like I'm not really buying this conversation, to be honest.
All right, let's go ahead and dead it right here. This is a great conversation. Whether at least I think so, in my opinion. Riddell, you can have your opinion. Everybody else, we had a good conversation. We're gonna go back to anime. We're gonna do a quick blind ranking, but everybody go ahead, take a little deep. Actually, you know what, Miles, go ahead. I need you to take another swig of water. Okay, you put in a lot of work
Bro.
the last couple weeks.
I'm good, man. Riddell, I appreciate you. I love you, man. I can have a conversation with you. I'm passionate, but we can have a conversation where there's logic involved. The comments,
Something's gonna come straight.
y'all
And
got it.
Jay the boy, it's not about, you don't have to be jealous to think it's not harder. Like I said earlier, like everyone comes from different backgrounds, everyone values what struggle is differently. But just to like discount completely that something is harder than something else, to me, is disingenuous and short-sighted.
and there's also just different levels of difficulty on
Yes,
either
and everything.
side. On either side.
All right then. That was I'm a cap it. I'm a cap it right
Yeah.
there. So we're gonna move on to Lonnie's blind rankings. Don't worry, Lonnie, I got you, big dog.
Yeah, go ahead, do it.
All right.
I'm
So
about to leave,
Lonnie's
but-
blind rankings are, we're gonna be doing a 2000s 2000s anime blind ranking. We're talking your Demon Slayers, your
All
Attack
right.
on Titans.
2010s, run it back.
2010s, my bad. 2010s, your Demon Slayers, your Attack on Titans. $2 super chat by NG Carr coming for Miles's neck. Pause. Am jealous. I can take. I'm jealous. I can take on loads like my.
Wow.
Hey yo.
This is a weird gimmick. I just want to remove my association with all loads, and
Let's go.
I'll be passing that off to my brother
Drink more water.
Random. My brother
I-
Random. He's the chieftain of loads. Refer to him for all of that.
Chill out.
I don't want-
Chieftain
I don't want-
of loads.
I don't want nothing to do
Chill
with that
out.
business.
Chieftain of loads is insane. But drink more water. Don't play with me, man. I've been fiending for free ring content, man. So if that's true, I'm gonna lock the fuck back in. But like I said, it's going to be a 2010s anime blind ranking. Remember your Demon Slayers, your AOT, your Vinland sagas. All right. So we're going to start off in this order. Steins Gate. Hold on. Let me make sure. Let me count to make sure how many. 6. We have 8. We have 8 anime. Steins Gate.
8.
No way.
I never
Wait.
watched it, so I have to agree. I've never watched it.
Wait. We talking about this the 2010s, right?
At 8?
Yeah, 2010s.
Yeah, there's a lot of gas in the 2010s, bro. A lot of
I'll say-
gas.
I'll give it 6. People universally think it's like one of the best anime of all time. so.
It's I would say 5. 8 is crazy.
Ty, have you watched it?
I haven't put throw that 8, bro.
Hey, that's sad.
I'll go 6. What right now?
Go
Okay,
6,
we're going 6.
Jesus.
All right, man. It's on Riddell. We got 6.
8.
I've never watched it. I'll be clear.
Riddell said 6, bro.
Okay. Next
So we're
one
not-
is
Jay, we're not rating it 1 through 10. We're ranking it in a slot from 1 through 8.
Yeah.
so 6 Steins Gate. Okay. The next one is Haikyuu.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't think. 2010s. I forgot that's a whole decade. Jeez.
5 or 4. Maybe 5.
5.
Well, I think
it's not a-
I would go 4. It's literally one of the best sports animes of all time.
Agreed.
Shit.
Well, hey, we have to remember Lonnie decided not to put Bleach on the last list, so he may have left off some bangers on this one.
Random. Are you reading this list out in a predatory order, or are you just reading what was sent?
All I can say is I am following Lonnie's instructions to the letter.
No.
This, like I said, this is not my list. This is Lonnie's list. I'm following.
I'd say
honestly 3 might be the shout actually,
because
Lonnie might have put some bullshit on this list.
Trust me, we're going 4.
All right, 4. Let's do 4.
Haikyuu at 4.
Trust me.
Okay. The next one is JoJo season 4.
That's Bento Areo. That's Bento Areo.
You said season 4?
Yeah.
That's Golden Wind, no? That's 5.
Sure?
That's 5.
Is that Unbreakable Diamond?
Yeah, it's Diamond Unbreakable.
Golden Wind.
Wait,
Golden Wind is part 5.
I'm looking right. Oh, hold on. So I'm just gonna go part 4 instead. I'm googling it right now.
Yeah, because part 1 is technically season 1 and 2. I think that's probably what's
and Steins Gate is better than that, Ty.
So
I
I'm
put it at 7 there.
According to Google, it's Diamond is Unbreakable.
Yeah, exactly. Diamond Unbreakable is part 4. Bento Areo is part 5.
So 5 or 7? It's one or the other.
Ooh.
I didn't like.
You didn't like Killer Queen? I fucked with Killer Queen.
The villain, Kira, fantastic.
Carries.
Let's go 7, man.
I'm fine with 7.
7.
7.
I only like Killer Queen. That's...
I like Josuke, my dude.
Okay, the next one. Next one is My Hero Academia.
2. There's only 2, bro.
I'm gonna let y'all vote, man.
Where you?
I personally enjoy Haikyuu more than My Hero.
Staying on business.
So
5?
I would have to. Do we have a 4 already slotted?
Yes.
Yeah, Haikyuu's 4.
Haikyuu's 4.
Haikyuu's,
bro. My Hero's 2, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Staying on business.
I'm willing to go 3. I'm willing to go 3.
Yeah, staying on business. Okay.
I'm willing to go 3.
So, fellas, what we doing? We doing 3?
Man, if Santos said 5, I would have hopped on the train. I'm not gonna
I would have hopped on 5 too. I would have hopped on 5 too.
I mean, I like I said, for me, I enjoy Haikyuu more than My Hero, but I don't think it's 5. I don't think it's 2.
I can't quantify it. I'm sorry to let you down. I do not like My Hero. I don't.
So we're going with
you know
5?
what? Fuck it. Do 5. No, let's do 5.
No,
let's do 5. Hey, let's do 5.
The record show that I said 3. The record.
All right, hold on. Time out.
No, 5. All 3 of them are 5.
Time out, fellas. I'm gonna leave this up to a vote. Santo, what number are you going with? 3?
He said 5.
I'd say 3.
No, I don't want to do 3.
Miles?
I'm gonna say 3.
5. I got 5.
Okay.
5.
Riddell?
5. Y'all
3.
Y'all don't stand on nothing, bro.
My Hero Academia at 3. All right, the next one is Sword Art Online.
Oh, you can put it at 8. That's the last one?
Yeah.
Put it at 8.
Yeah. Steins Gate's better than that too, Ty. At 8.
Real?
I like Sword Art more than My Hero, but I'm not gonna say too much. Put it at 8 though. Put it at 8.
Okay. All right. Next one is Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, 2.
That's 2.
It might be 1. What's the chances we get Attack on Titan in Full Metal?
That's why I said 2. Full Metal 2000s. Full Metal 2000s.
Brotherhood.
I will say this: Full Metal.
2009.
Any kind of Full Metal is not on this list. I will say
it's 2009.
So
he has to have AOT.
Attack on Titan gotta be on the list.
You see, this would be perfect.
You did put Bleach on last list.
If we had My Hero at 2 and Hunter at 3, it'd be perfect, bro. We go Hunter. Which I want to do, Hunter at 2.
I
What?
also enjoy.
What?
I also enjoy Hunter
What?
over My
I don't
Hero.
know if he has Attack on Titan on the list.
Wait,
Also,
we're done. Is
don't forget Tokyo Ghoul as well.
Oh, I can
the
see
anime?
Riddell throwing that.
The
I can
anime?
see
The anime?
that's his ass.
The anime?
But I can see him throwing that curveball though. This
All
line.
right, what do y'all want to do with Hunter? This is not my list. What y'all want to do?
Now he disassociated
yours.
himself from the
Not my
list.
list.
I'm gonna agree with Ty, and we're gonna put it at 2.
No, I said hypothetically 3, but 3 doesn't exist anymore.
All right, so where are we putting Hunter x Hunter?
Santo?
2? 2.
Yeah.
Sano says 2. Riddell?
Going to.
2. Ty?
I'm gonna go with Santo, whatever he said.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we're going to
Ty,
go
I'm
with
agree-
2.
We're both in agreement.
All right, the next one is Food Wars.
7.
Oh,
We already have a 7, bro.
isn't
Wait,
Food
wait,
here?
6?
Isn't Food Wars
Wait,
1 now?
what spots we got left?
You
5
got-
and 1.
Yes, exactly.
5 and 1. Oh, 5.
Oh, 5.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
I never watched it. I never plan to watch it. So
It's great.
I liked it. It's the most unique shonen I've ever seen.
It's great.
It's great.
man,
It's great for what I'm not sitting here acting like it's Demon Slayer, but it's fucking
Also-
great for what it is.
So now you got to read out the list until you get to 1.
Yep.
'Cause you don't tell us 1 yet.
I'm good off of being horny off of eating
All
food.
right, so our 2010s blind ranking start off at number 8, Sword Art Online. At number 7,
Oh, no.
JoJo's Part 4, Diamond is Unbreakable. At number 6 is Steins Gate. At number 5 is Food Wars. At number 4 is Haikyuu. At number 3 is My Hero Academia. At number 2 is Hunter x Hunter. And our number 1 2010s blind rankings anime is Prison School.
Oh,
Chris
my.
was fire,
Yeah,
but
Listen.
This is some bullshit.
It's perfect.
Prison School's actually good, but it's not
It's
1. It's not 1.
perfect.
It's good though. Prison School's good, but it's not 1.
I look, I
It's
Lonnie,
perfect.
I appreciate you giving me exactly what to do, because when he told me, he's like, you got to mention Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan and Vinland Saga, like, to get them thinking. And then he just at the end, when I saw Prison School, I said,
All right.
okay.
Ty, you go to the next list because you seem to have the nose to just be like, yo, if we see a certain series, just put it where it belongs. Don't even try to play safe. So, because I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of Lonnie getting away with this shit, man. he can't keep getting away with this.
All right, then. All right.
I'm here for it. Prison School better than My Hero.
All right, chill out. I love
Hey,
Prison
keep-
School as much as the next
keep
dude.
that in
Let's
the
not
clip.
disrespect My
Keep
Hero
that
like
in the
that.
clip.
All right, then. So, does anybody else have anything to add? If not, we're gonna go to the main topic. Or if anybody has a let's get negative.
I got some segments.
All right, Riddell, go ahead, man.
All right. I got 2. I got a unique one, and then I have a quick little blind rankings. Actually, should I do the blind rankings? Yes, because it's funny. All right, it's NBA related, so I probably should have done it when we were talking about NBA. Blind rankings, NBA Mickey Championship Edition. So
That's
basically, y'all are going to rank the Mickiest of Mickey NBA championships. Simple. I'm not going to tell you. Yo, this man ducked.
Not dogs.
Ducking is.
Yeah, he gotta go to the airport.
Oh, he had to go.
Yeah,
Never
he
mind.
got
He didn't
to.
duck. He didn't duck. Man, it would have been funnier when Miles is here. Not gonna lie. So I have some championships, and y'all just tell me where it ranks from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 6. Simple stuff. You can use your own criteria. First championship, 2020 Lakers.
Is 1 the most Mickey?
The one is the most Mickey.
See,
That's the bubble, right?
I think people talk shit on the bubble. People shit on the bubble, but I thought that's probably the most prosperous. That's probably the best environment to play basketball was the bubble.
Not only that, the Lakers lost home court advantage. because they were the number 1 seed.
True.
So where does it rank?
And the
And they
they
faced
played Miami.
and all their teams were relatively healthy outside of the Heat, like game like 3. But every other team they faced was relatively healthy, which is rare when you face. Then their entire conference, all their conference play, the teams are fully healthy. They just beat them in 5.
I just think it's the fact that it was LeBron who ended up winning in the bubble that people don't like.
No, because I remember when people thought Kawhi was going to win it, they were hype about it. I ain't gonna lie, I'm putting that on either 5 or 6. I ain't gonna lie.
I was gonna go 4, but I can go 5.
Sorry. Bill Simmons if I see Bill Simmons, I click. I apologize.
All right, I'll go 5. I'll go 5.
5.
All right, 5. 2015 Warriors.
That shit top 3, bro.
That
They every starting point guard got injured, and then Kevin Love too with Kyrie. It has to be top.
Kevin Love blame Boston. Was it Kelly Olynyk trying to rip out his shoulder?
No, I'm not blaming the Warriors for him getting injured, but they didn't face an entire starting point guard in any of the rounds because Kyrie got hurt in game 1, and they never faced Kevin Love. The second best player of the finals, the second best player on their finals opponent was Matthew Dellavedova.
Cook.
That's that's crazy.
I remember when they were like, Delhi's the fucking Steph
Curry,
and then Curry sent his ass to the hospital.
Wasn't
the rim defender Timofey Mozgov?
Yeah, bro.
The Lakers gave him like $40 fucking million.
Bro,
I don't know why, bro. That is top 2. I want to put it at. Loki might be put it down at 2, bro.
And we're talking about the whole playoff run, not just the championship.
Exactly, the entire playoff run. They faced a major injury at the point guard. That's not Loki 2, bro.
Yeah.
See, okay, I understand. You know what? Never mind. I'm gonna lay out. I'm gonna ride with Ty.
Because I have one already just locked.
Yeah, I know what you think. I already know what you think, Santo.
I might not say it, so who knows?
No. But I know you read that.
I'm expecting the Raptors to be on this list. I'm expecting the Raptors to be on this list.
Not
so
I'm
gonna say 2 or 3.
Next one up. 2025 Thunder.
That might be 6, low key.
Yeah, I don't think it was Mickey. I mean,
low key might be 6.
Gets injured. Aaron Gordon gets injured.
For instance, I still think they would have beaten the Nuggets if Aaron Gordon was healthy.
Yeah.
I just wish I saw it. You know what I mean? If he was healthy.
Same thing, low-key with I low-key feel the same way about the Pacers. I'm not gonna lie. I think they would have won. The only thing is that it would just been a close game, I think. But
I'm with Santo. I think if Tyrese plays, just the energy that he had to start off the game makes me feel that there could have been a different outcome with Tyrese.
I don't want to be too disrespectful. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to be disrespectful. I think if Hallie plays, they blow out the Thunder.
Real quick. Bill Simmons said this, and I wanted to get your guys' point on this. He said 10 years from now, when we look on this season, you're going to remember the Pacers and not the Thunder. And I was like, he might be right. What the Pacers did this playoff run was incredible.
What were we saying? 6?
But you gotta think about it, right?
I don't think it's Mickey.
They dominate They dominate the Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Nuggets. They beat the Nuggets by almost 30. Huh?
Timberwolves are a little fraudulent. But continue.
Sure, but I'm just going through they beat the Nuggets. I mean, the Nuggets lost Aaron Gordon, but they did beat them by 30 in Game 7. I don't know if Aaron Gordon, you know what I'm saying?
No, my only thing was
he was dominant.
But they beat by okay. I think if you put Aaron Gordon, maybe they win by 15.
No, the only reason I'm gonna say is and you saw it in Game 7, ironically, when TJ McConnell's dribbling the ball and Casey Wallace just grabbing his wrist in front of the ref, and TJ McConnell said, "Hey, bro, are you just gonna let this happen?" So look, whatever you want to say, because they did have a good game plan for Jokic in that game. Alex Caruso just basically beat that dude up for the whole game. That's all he did, and he got away with it. That's what happened.
All right, we can put this at 4 then. If y'all want to, I think 6 is fine, but 6 or 4.
No, but I mean, I'm agreeing with you on 6. I don't think.
All right, 6,
I don't think it's as Mickey as other teams on this list, but I think they are.
Here's my thing, right? and this is what I'm saying. Like Tyrese he missed 3, obviously, pretty much all of Game 7. But he was there for most of it. He did have Cav, was messing up most of it, but I'll go 6.
He literally he could not do anything impressive. He was so compromised that he's one where I'm like, you came out, you tried, and at the end of the first quarter, bro, just sit down. It's fine.
We'll go 6. We'll go 6.
Okay. 2021 Bucks.
That's
Remind me of their playoff run because I'm like Giannis had 50 in the final game.
They swept the Heat. Then they beat the Nets, but the Nets lost Kyrie and James Harden.
Oh,
Like James Harden was hurt. James Harden was hurt for the beginning of the series, then came back, was hobbled. Kyrie Irving missed Game 3. Well, no, he got hurt in Game 3. And Jeff Teague literally said when they were losing the first 2 games, they're like, "Yeah, the series is over." And then when Kyrie got hurt, they were like, his team like, "Oh shoot, we might can win." That one's low key 3. I think like 3. Low key.
Right?
And you can say this for the Heat. You can say this for the Heat.
Because how I look at it is that I don't think they have a shot if Kyrie and Kevin Love. Because like, there are some people, like, for example, if Aaron Gordon is playing, I think the Thunder still win. I think if Kyrie plays, the Bucks lose in 5.
I'll say this for the Heat
because they were getting smoked by
Kevin Durant by himself, like gave them work.
And again, Jeff Teague, he said a few of his other teammates felt like they were going to get smoked in 5 or 6 if Kyrie doesn't play. So I'm just going off with their like they like, yeah, it's over. Like we're getting smashed. Like, so I'll put it at 3.
I will say this about the Heat. The turnaround from the bubble to the next season in the NBA was extremely quick because the Lakers and the Heat both suffered from the quick turnaround because they played the longest. So it really hurt them a lot. So the Heat and Lakers were both just too tired. And I understand that sounds crazy to say. The turnaround was so quick. I think they only had like a couple months, and all of a sudden they had to start playing again. Because
they played Phoenix in the end, right?
Yeah. I'm about to say, but the thing about it is that year specifically, every team on both sides of the conference got hurt. Like all the Western Conference teams that people thought were dominant, like the Clippers got hurt, the Lakers got hurt. Like a bunch of teams were injured.
Chris Paul got hurt too.
Steph's team was effed up. It was kind of just Steph.
Steph broke his hand that year, right? Going up for a layup or something like that. Was that the year?
Maybe. I'm not. I think I lost it to play-in. But I remember. The point is the both conferences were racked with injury. Even Trae Young got hurt in the Hawks series. Like I would put that in like low key 3.
I honestly would love to have the number 2 spot open and put that at 2.
Maybe that Warriors should have been 1 or 3, but
the Warriors are 2 right now.
Yeah,
low key.
I'll go 3.
Bucks might be 1. Bucks might be 1, but we'll go 3.
All right. 1994 Rockets, the year after MJ retired.
Are you literally put him on the list because MJ left?
4.
I don't know nothing about their playoff run. So please
I'll put that at 4, bro. I'm putting that at 4. Like low-key, it could have been 6 because I'm like, hey, they thought that nigga retired. Like what?
I don't know.
To be fair, what I always hear about that is that everybody was like, "Oh my God, Jordan's gone. We have a chance." That's what niggas said.
About it is though, Kenny Smith always made the point that when the Rockets played the Bulls, they beat them. They were like 6-1 against the Bulls because like Hakeem, they couldn't stop Hakeem. Like, they didn't have like a big to stop Hakeem. And Jordan, she said, I don't know if you've seen his interview where he said it's a good thing they can't get out the West. So I don't know who was scared of who.
No, I mean regular season matchups.
That's what I'm going with Jordan. Michael Jordan said it's a good thing he can get out the West. That's all. I'm just repeating his words. If it's a lie,
and he was cooking Kenny Smith in the finals if he saw that nigga.
Hey, they might have finally went to a game 7.
You know what would have happened? You know what would have happened if that actually happened? The shit
and Hakeem would have wrecked any of their centers, bro. Like, are we serious? This is before
nobody's guarding. Nobody's stopping Jordan. Like, look, don't get me wrong. I have no idea. It could just go either way. I don't care.
I'm just going on what Jordan said, man. I don't know. 4.
All right.
If you relied on Kenny Smith to stop Michael Jordan, I don't know what to tell you, Ty.
So here are the Mickey championships blind rankings. Number 6, the 2025 Thunder. Number 5, the 2020 Lakers. Number 4, the 1994 Rockets. Number 3, the 2021 Bucks. Number 2, the 2015 Warriors. And number 1, the 2019 Raptors.
Facts.
Shout out the Rappers.
Now,
that Raptors playoff run.
Low key, if you swap, okay, move the Warriors and Bucks up 1, put the Raptors at 3.
Tell me why.
I think they're all interchangeable.
The reason why I'll tell you why is because the Raptors got lucky in the finals, but their conference playoffs, they played a bunch of healthy, stacked Eastern Conference teams. Like they played Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. They got them out and Jimmy Butler got them out in 7. Everyone was healthy. Then they beat the Bucks.
Team, yeah.
They beat the Bucks in 6 with Giannis, the MVP. They were healthy. They just got their ass kicked. That conference, I think they got lucky in the finals. But the conference play was lit. I think that in the year with the Warriors and the Bucks, their in-conference play and finals play was very injury based. That's why I put them at 1 and 2 in the Raptors.
Now, we do have this topic with the drip, so maybe I'll save this activity for after, depending on what you guys want to do. But I'll tell you what it is. I told this to Miles. I'll tell you what the activity I created is. So basically, I call it, do you have aura? How it works is that there's 5 categories you guys could pick. Now, you guys will need either something to write with or your phone. And you can either pick peak aura, bum aura, overrated aura, underrated aura, or mid aura. I'm going to give you a person / character. You guys are going to write what type of aura you all think they have. And if 2 people have completely different aura things, now this is only if we do the challenge-based one. If we don't do the challenge-based ones, I'll scratch this part. But if you guys have completely different aura selections, then you guys will have to debate who's right, and whoever loses that debate based on what the chat says has to either do a lack of aura activity or put on something that's lack of aura, like something stupid. So that is the activity that I created. Do you have aura game? But I could save that till after the drip stuff if we have time.
Okay. All right, then let's go on ahead to our main topic. It's time for a drip check. All right, everybody. It's time to do something a little silly. What's good, Miles? I'm glad because this actually stemmed from a conversation we had the last time you and I watched One Piece over a couple of hot takes that I had.
Restraining aura is crazy.
That's insane. But real quick, let me make sure I am sharing the screen. I got a list of 8 characters that I believe, me personally, have bad drip. The chat dropped the ball because I created a whole thread for them to add people who have bad drip. Favorite drip bad. Okay, never mind. People added some stuff, but we can add those at the end. But I just need you to defend some of these because there are 2 of them for sure that are very controversial, and I'm standing 10 toes down on it. I don't care what nobody says. But we are going to start with Zabuza. I have said this from jump. As much as I enjoy the Land of Waves, his drip is atrocious. Like both, I think, as a ninja and just how he just walks around every day. I think it's atrocious.
No, it's tough.
Defend it to me, man.
So, like, I feel like sometimes we think about drip, we think about, would I wear that? Opposed to, does it look cool on the character? Does he look cool? Yes, that design tough. Like, what the, like, you feel me?
I disagree.
There's plenty of fits that look cold in story, but you would never wear it in real life. So it's not about that.
My only pushback would be to Ty
that moo camo, the moo camo he has on his hands and his legs, that shit bad. Everything else is fire though.
Okay, so y'all don't think he look cold?
Nah, the moo camo's losing me, but the pants, sword, the straps across the chest, you know what I'm saying? The way he got his face covered with the little band, the headband to the side, that shit cold. You gotta just lose the moo. That's all.
That's insane.
I agree. I think if
That
his
was crazy.
if his hand socks and his actual socks were just like all gray or all black, and maybe his COVID mask was like black as well, like
COVID back.
he'd look really cool. I mean, I can understand why you would say it's atrocious random because yeah, the cow cameo like Miles said perfectly. I think he's
Explain.
cool
I'm about
enough.
to say who authorized that part. If it was just like for instance, I think if those sleeves were just like a base color, I'd be rocking with them. I'd absolutely be rocking with them, but they're not. They're not a base color, and I think they're ugly. But I just want to look. The only reason why we're doing this, I wanted to do something silly. You know, we especially after the argument we had to start the episode. But I want to do something silly. But okay, so okay, fine. The next one though is best genist. I'm sorry, bro. This is just me personally. If I see you in a full if I see you in a full denim fit, Riddell, I love you, big dog. But if I see you in a full denim, if I see you in some jeans and a denim jacket and some high and some thigh high, or my bad, some shin high boots, my nigga, we not going out. Go back inside and change your clothes, my nigga. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, I'm not defending this one.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. In the context of who he is, I think that shit tough. It's the boots. The boots is throwing me. But everything else though, that shit is kind of tough.
I mean,
I'm
it
alright,
worked
bro.
for his ability, but
It reminds me of Android 18, her little denim fit she had going on. I think
18.
that shit's hard.
How
she got
dare
the
you? How dare
cowboy
you
look.
put 18 and Best Genius in the same
Well,
place?
because here's the thing: their outfits are very similar, except 18 has like a crop top with a shirt underneath it, but she got the same ugly brown boots. She got the denim skirt, and she got the denim jacket. It's pretty much the same.
No,
We disagree.
I'm not
That's
buying
wild.
it the same.
Y'all hating.
No. And
I'm
then that haircut, we add in the haircut too? Because
trash.
Nah, his haircut's meant to make him look edgy, like a ninja or something. It's an edgy look.
Yo, Miles is smiling.
Edgy trash. I don't like it personally. I think it's trash.
Yeah, the hair.
All right. So the next one is Invisible Girl. I'm just hating on this one. This is just me personally. I'm hating.
That's not
I'm hating.
You hating on gloves and boots?
My nigga, she's naked.
Bro.
Like you telling me right now, she just running around with some gloves and some boots on, ass naked, trying to fight all for one.
She giving you hands butt naked? I mean, wait,
Come on,
pause.
bro.
That
What we
sounded
doing
crazy.
here? Exactly. My nigga, they got shit that can do almost anything. The support items that can do almost anything. I'm not saying you need to give her some. You tell me you can't make some armor that helps her while she's invisible and that shit turn invisible too, my nigga.
What if she does? You don't know.
Santa, we both read the story, bro. Defend this, bro. The fact that she just ass naked the whole time is weird.
There's nothing to hate or defend. It's gloves and boots.
I'm hating, my nigga.
You're hating on white gloves and white boots.
I think it's horrendous. Let me be honest with you. I'm
What do
hating
you
because
want her to do?
she's naked. How are you trying to fight villains and you naked?
Well, what do you want her to do? That's her ability.
That's insane. That's insane.
I don't have a comment on this one. Like, you'll be like,
Yeah, I'll pass on this one.
Yeah,
it's boots and gloves.
Go to the next one, Randall.
It's a nice
The next one is ESO from JJK. JJK niggas, defend this. I dare you. I fucking dare you. Defend this shit. What is this?
The nipple suspenders.
You know so funny. So funny. I don't know if y'all remember the manga, but this version is the censored version, and the manga has a thong on.
That's insane. What?
The manga, he has a thong. He doesn't have leggings. It's a thong in the manga.
Oh, praise God! I would have walked away. I would have walked away from JJK.
So So I'm kind of on the road and looking at the same time. Does my brother not have any boots on? No shoes?
Nope.
No
Yeah, he
shoes.
barefoot,
Straight
man.
got his
Automatic
panties
F,
out.
man. Automatic F, man.
Yeah, that's this is bad.
Your toes touching the gravel, you got it, my brother.
It doesn't matter what you wear. You can have the fanciest, cleanest looking suit. If you don't have shoes on, you look poor.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's an
What's
algorithm.
what's the next one, random? That we're not going to speak on this one.
Enough for to speak on this one.
Mm-mm.
All right, give me a second. I'm doing something different just to make it a lot easier. Okay, so the next one is because I'll just share it again. This is for the bleach niggas, okay? This is for the bleach niggas, and this is just because I just saw it and I was like, absolutely not, absolutely not. But bleach
Who you
niggas,
I bet
bleach
he's about to
niggas.
disrespect Mayuri. That's what
What
I
the
bet
fuck
he's
is this,
about.
my nigga? Bleach niggas.
Oh no, I
What the fuck is this? Huh?
Oh, well,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
What the fuck is this?
I'm not the.
I forgot about this dude.
What the fuck is this? Huh?
I mean, he shows up.
It is part of Big Three. This is what you want me to watch? No, I'm good, bro. What the fuck is this?
No, stop being nasty. If JJK got a character, then you feel me?
I skipped that arc.
Well,
I read JJK.
what? One Punch Man got a character too.
Oh, don't get because I didn't know how long the streamers was this thing, so I only did 8, and the last 2 we're gonna have some conversations, so I only did 8, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna do this again in the future. But I saw this and I said, ain't no way a series that, because don't get me wrong, or maybe this is just me. Bleach is always known for its character designs. I think it does its character designs very well from what I've seen, but this is atrocious.
This is a minor character. It's not that
yeah, the fit's trash, but
Jesus.
He do be boxing though.
I know you like. Well, he still boxes though.
yeah, you know what? The fit is for emotional damage. You getting beat by this guy? Yeah.
What's that in his stomach?
It looks like a tattoo. I don't know, bro.
I gotta stop.
Who is this guy? What arc is he from?
He fights Yumachika in when they're in the Katakura arc.
We good.
Yeah, we good on, bro.
All right. Here's the next one. And I love her. I love her to death. I love her.
Oh, we disrespecting Phase Fit?
I love
kind of tough.
Hold on. What's the problem with this?
I love Cowboy Bebop. I love Faye. She's one of my top female characters of all time. But this fit is trash. Ain't no way I'm about to go pull a heist or get in a shootout and you pull up in this. What the fuck? What am I supposed to do with this? I understand. Look, so one thing I did was I did not want to add a lot of like fan servicey, like really bad. Like, for instance, the girl from is it Kill la Kill? The one that she's like, it's so outrageous that it caused controversy. I can't remember her name. Right? I saw the first episode and I said, I'm good if this is what I have to look at for fucking 12 episodes. I'm good. So I try to avoid just putting females or people on with things like that just to avoid. But Faye,
Random.
What I like about it is that it color coordinates.
If your girl came to you dressed like this, you would say, "Nah, that shit sucks."
I'm not going. Okay. Don't get me wrong. If she came like this to me in the privacy of my home, absolutely. But my nigga, she going out with that shit.
Yeah, she gotta. That's her job. She gotta flirt with people.
Miles. Oh, not Miles. Riddell. So you're telling me if your girl wears this and y'all go out in public to interact with society, you're just cool with this?
Hey, if she dropped the cape, we might have action.
She's a thief. Isn't this the same idea as like Catwoman? She be dressing crazy too, but she gotta get comfortable with people, get in their ear a little bit. I can't hate. She doing her thing.
Who said I
enjoyed the fit is not bad.
Okay. All right. So the next one. The next one is gonna for sure cause some controversy, and I'm gonna stand 10 toes down. It's Luffy. His fit is trash, absolutely trash. His fit is absolutely trash. The only reason you're gonna defend him is because it's Luffy. His fit is trash.
Bro, what's wrong with his fit, bro?
My
Hey
nigga,
man, it's gas, bro.
Explain it to me.
okay,
It's gas.
my nigga. Okay, you are a pirate. You are a pirate. You are trying to
What's
be
up?
pirates.
Y'all
Okay.
trying to tell me that's try ain't aura?
The straw hat's the best part, my nigga. If the best
Oh.
part of your out, hold on, real quick. Let me tell you this. So let's say you're out somewhere.
Making a straw hat like a fire fit that everybody wears nowadays is kind of tough.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Y'all know those panels where Oda like draws Luffy's straw hat, but it's like covering his eyes, and his eyes like have that shadow.
That shit was cold.
That should be hard, bro.
With
Come
that
on, man.
said, nah,
Come on,
this
man.
fit ain't it, bro.
Oh, y'all sad.
I literally,
It has
I see
Yeah,
people
yo.
putting on jorts, freaking them sandals, and fucking, and I'm like, bro, dead ass.
Hold on, does he not look like a pirate? Does he not look like a pirate?
Look like a pirate fit to me.
Like he like
You don't
he
look
was
like a
doing the
captain.
pirate
You
I've
thing.
never seen a pirate wear that. I'm not
You looking at him right now? What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
You literally look at a pirate do the thing you're talking about. What are you talking about, bro? Yo, this just be yo.
The only reason
for
you
someone
are
that's
defending it is because it's Luffy.
it's
If
not
this
because
was
it's
fucking
Luffy,
Kobe wearing this, you'd be roasting his ass.
bro.
You'd be roasting him.
This is a pirate that's going on water, on sand. You got the sandals, check. You got shorts, check. You got an
It's
open
hot outside,
long
man.
sleeve. You
Sure,
got
it's
an
hot.
open long sleeve shirt, check. And you
We
got a hat.
advocating for George now.
It's
That's what we doing.
Huh, wait, how's it random? Is it not hot outside?
We advocating for George now. That's what we doing.
See what I'm saying? Ayo, first of all, it's hot outside. So you need the hat to cover your face from the sun. You need to, you know what I'm saying? You need some shorts because it's hot outside. You need your open toes because you know what I'm saying? You can't wear socks because your feet gonna get sweaty. And it's sand and water around. Like, come on, man.
Oh, it can be practical and not drippy. That's fine.
Cook Riddell.
it's not trash though.
I disagree, but keep going.
There were a lot of One Piece fits I wanted to put on here that I'm just like, Oda, like you didn't need to go this hard.
A lot of them.
They're minor characters. They're minor characters where it didn't.
Oh,
it
you
didn't
probably
matter.
think about number 3. He was probably thinking about him.
But this is the last one, and the one that had me, and this basically what got me to do this list. Miles, you should know, but I'm gonna say this right now. Let me look at the camera. I'm standing 10 toes down on this. You cannot change my mind. Both of Naruto's fits are trash. His main fits are trash.
Yeah,
Trash.
me and him were vehemently
Trash.
bro. I'll concede the blue and orange. That orange and black is tough. I don't care what nobody says.
So you
No
don't.
way.
So
Once he puts the
you
fucking
just
Sage Mode outfit on, it immediately makes it better. Like it's bad.
But
Like,
the black and orange by itself is tough.
you just don't like
God.
tracksuits then. You don't like
No.
tracksuits.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Random. This is where we disagree.
Kai, we're not
would rock
advocating
that
for George,
tracksuit. I'm not holding you. I would rock that.
But y'all don't want to look like a pirate though. All right, man.
Yo,
I don't like both
I'm not
of them.
putting you on
Kai.
George.
Y'all sad, bro. Like Miles said, y'all sad.
I'm different.
I'm
Bro.
not
Now,
putting
look,
you on
I'll
George.
let the
different,
blue
bro.
and orange go because my man was in the trenches, my nigga. He was in the trenches drinking spoiled milk, didn't know no better. But black and orange, you was getting some money, my nigga. Why we seeing your shins, bro? Why are we seeing your shins?
it helps with his aerodynamicism as a ninja when he's running on the
Miles,
walls.
I-
You would hate to get tangled in your pants leg when you using chakra to run up the wall.
Miles, I need you to say that without a smile on your face.
Huh? I'm not smiling.
That shit whack. The
Bro,
fact that
Miles, I can hear your smile, bro.
Yo,
Don't
y'all
get me-
capping.
don't get me wrong, most of Naruto's fits are tough. The one that he wears in the Naruto the last movie, $5 super chat from OSU.
Bro, drop a message on whatever
drop
you
a
say.
message and we'll read it, big dog. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for the. So his last fit, his not in that movie, tough. His Hokage fit, tough. The fact that the minute that he comes back with the toads and he puts a cloak on that shit makes it better. Okay, here's the $5 super chat from OSU 785. Random crashing out. That shit fire.
Facts.
No, it's not.
Right.
It is.
No, it's not.
Bro,
If Kiba was wearing that exact fit, you'd be roasting him.
If
That's
Kiba was
cap.
wearing that, he might be a better character.
Yo,
That's
oh,
crazy.
I'm
Even practicality wise, he's a ninja. My nigga, bright orange. What we doing?
he's confident. He said, "You don't got the smoke. You don't want to fuck with me."
hey, Sakura wear bright red. What are we talking about?
I don't like. Look. Sakura's fit's pretty good. Just change up the colors, my nigga.
Hey,
Brandon,
the Akatsuki walk around with all black with clouds on it. These ninjas
Most
aren't
of them niggas
exactly
broken.
inconspicuous. They're not inconspicuous, bro.
Most of the niggas broken. I don't know what to tell
Naruto
you.
broken.
Look. The fact that I've seen like in some of the filler movies, and I'm like, yo, why can't he wear this fit right now? This shit fire. His Hokage fit is tough. In Boruto, I saw it. It's tough. I like that fit. Now, I did say this. In terms of Naruto, they just have their toes out all the time. So I'm like, if there's a nail tech in the Naruto world, they make it money because their toes always clean. But I'm like, some niggas throwing kunai, chidoris, Rasengans. You telling me you just gonna have your gators out while you're trying to fight all that shit? That's insane. That's insane. You tell me nobody was like, how about we just throw some closed-toe shoes on, my nigga? Like, what is this?
And just like how we hyping up Luffy for making the straw hat popular, Naruto did the same thing with the headband, man. Shout out.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Y'all come here to say anything. I was fine.
Random just don't like tracksuits.
No, I like track. I have one right now. I have a tracksuit right now. So Santo, you telling me you wearing a bright orange tracksuit out right now?
Sure.
That's insane. $2 super chat. Angie Carr, she's the GOAT. Future Trunks in the BoJack movie fit is tough. Trunks does not have a bad fit. Future Trunks does not have a bad fit.
Wait, but we're not hating on that purple jacket.
Mm.
We're gonna crash out on this on a tracksuit, but we're not hating on his purple jacket.
We hating on Trunks' purple jacket right now?
The crop top purple jacket.
We hate my nigga. He was tough in that jacket. What are we talking about? Santo, don't make me crash out, bro.
The Capsule Corp crop top purple jacket. Sure.
Bro, imagine wearing a crop top jacket. Come on.
A crop top denim jean purple jacket.
Y'all literally advocated for a nigga with jorts on, but we got a problem with a crop top. All right, bro. Y'all got it.
A crop top denim jacket.
That shit was fire. What are we doing?
I'm sure.
What are we doing? Angie Cook, bro. Kai Cook. Crop top was fire. Like, what we doing, bro? What we doing? Especially when he comes out the chamber. Like, and he's ready to go.
Sure. Put that on Krillin.
He'd make Krillin look better. Here,
because that's what you're doing.
I am not. You're just hating on Future Trunks, my nigga. That's all I'm hearing. But that was our first edition of at least the bad ones. I did have a few honorable mentions. One honorable mention was Creati, and the only reason, I'd rather wear the crop top jacket from Trunks than the orange tracksuit from Naruto.
You're capping. Not in real life, you would not wear a purple crop top jacket.
To be fair, I'm not wearing either, but if I had to choose, I'm wearing the crop top.
Random. We go to Houston. Me and you.
Mm-hmm.
It's 8 p.m. Let's go somewhere. You put on that crop top purple denim jacket. I'm not leaving. You can go by yourself.
So you're saying that you're okay with me wearing the orange Naruto fit?
The orange and black tracksuit? Yes.
We're just gonna have to disagree. Okay, we're just gonna have to disagree on this, Santo. We just have to disagree. Okay. Yeah. But look, I did have a few honorable mentions, and I'll also go to the ones in the chat. Honorable mention number 1 was Creati. I understand why her fit is the way it is. Like, very, you can say fan servicey, but she needs all that open space for her quirk. So I'm gonna let that go, even though I don't personally like it. Her boots are a little too long, but look, I'm gonna let that fit. And number 2 was L, because I'm like, my nigga, you trying to solve a crime? Why are you looking dusty all the time?
It's only because he didn't have shoes on.
Long sleeve shirt and jeans. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he also had his gators out.
Back to what I was saying. You can have on the best outfit ever. You don't have on shoes, you look broke.
You look broke as fuck.
Oh, so I have a question for y'all. When y'all walk y'all see y'all shoes off, y'all broke?
You said what?
When y'all walk into the house to take y'all shoes off, y'all be looking broke?
Nigga, I'm in my crib, bro. He outside. He outside with that shit.
Okay.
He outside with that shit, like Ty. You trying to? He outside with that. He just showing people his toes.
Okay, so let's say that you in the gym, right? Let's say you're in the gym hooping. You change your shoes in between the switching of shoes. Are you broke and then get back to
That's a bad question. You know it.
I don't know. I'm asking
that's
you
a
niggas.
bad question, bro.
I was hooping at the gym the other day, like this past weekend, and I switched shoes. Like when my shoes were off, was I broke? Then I put it back on. Now I'm looking.
Now, if you walked out to your car with your gaiters out, then yeah, you broke, my nigga. But you switch shoes like a regular fucking person.
Woo, that was fine.
W, man.
All right, then let me go to the chat real quick, or the Discord, because I like some of their admissions on there. Oh, hold on. Let me unmute that because they was cooking a little bit low key. So, look, Kai is a man of the people. That Trunks fit is sick. I don't know why y'all hating on that. That Trunks fit is sick. Look at this. Look at his fit. We hating on the Trunks fit?
Nah, it's dope. I was just
that Trunks fit is tough.
Yeah, that's just hard.
That might be low key. If you could power rank it, that shit low key might be top 5. That Trunks fit might be top 5.
No.
Niggas don't respect Yard Drag Goku, bro.
I like the Yard Rat Goku fit, but his best fit, in my opinion, Ty, is the end of Z fit. That's my favorite fit of his.
Yeah, I agree.
Top
That shit
5.
Top
I don't
5
even know.
in anime?
No, in Dragon Ball. I'm not.
Oh, in Dragon Ball?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
for sure, yeah. I thought you were talking about all of anime too.
In Dragon Ball, you cannot name. I don't think you can confidently name 5 fits that are better than the future.
All black Gohan.
All black.
I'm about to say, you can go Android 17.
Yep.
You can go Goku
18 too.
Right, you can go Goku when he was waiting those 7 days for the Cell games. That fit was hard.
How are we feeling about Gohan wearing Piccolo stuff?
Gohan with Piccolo, I would put up there.
Gorilla's fit was tough.
Yo.
I don't think it's better than Trunks.
What about Gogeta, Super Saiyan?
Gogeta. Then you also, I ain't gonna lie, man. Listen, we hate on him, but when Krillin had that white suit on, come on, man.
Don't let Lonnie know. Lonnie gonna start hating immediately.
Lonnie's just mad because Krillin beats Naruto in a fight. He needs to get over that.
My favorite part.
That's true. Sauce Goku Black as well.
Goku Black do got it on, man. I'm not gonna lie.
I really all right. So the next one that I think Kai put up was Yugi. Was that is that Yugi?
That's
Yugi.
That's tough.
Yugi's fit is tough. Also, why didn't y'all tell me that Kaiba went back in time to run the ones one more time with Yugi?
Hey man, he want the smoke, all the smoke.
He said, "Fuck that, take my ass back, Yugi. We not done yet." My nigga pulled up to his kingdom, said, "Run the ones, bro."
I respect it. Shout out.
All right, so the next one is Kurapika.
Crollo.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't looking at the thing.
You just got a suit on.
I was gonna say, why Kai are you advocating for this?
Just the earrings.
He got a suit on with some earrings and a headband. Is it the headband?
I guess it's just a suit.
Yeah, really. Just
all of them wore suits in York New.
Now, bro from Fire Force, he got that shit on though. Bro cooking. I think Fire Force is usually pretty good with its fits.
I mean, I don't know. Not really rocking. It's just Charon is a dog.
That is true. But that was it for our first edition of Anime Drip Check. I didn't realize we were going to run through these so quickly. So if you guys got a few more suggestions, throw them in there. And the next time I'm thinking about doing another Drip Check, we'll do it. Because I did want to keep it very simple. Because there were a few more that I wanted to put on there. from various anime. Like I think Fate. I think My Hero has a very good collection of fits. They just when they're bad, I think they're really bad in my opinion. But most of the time they're pretty good. My Hero does a really good job of that.
Now being part of the One Piece cartel, I will say One Piece does have a lot of great fits. When they go to Whole Cake and they're all wearing suits, that is super tough.
That was fire. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out. Oh, I do want to show you guys this real quick because this is what I was referring to, so you guys know what I'm talking about. This is 2BRX stuff. So, just so everybody knows exactly what I'm referring to. So in this scene, so you saw it right there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The impact frame.
Oh, I'm just talking about. Well, I knew that, but I'm talking about the fact that
okay.
he switched to this character. So this is X, and he just switches to this character, and this character is supposed to be like a big villain in the series. So it makes me think that they're trying to allude to the idea that they're the same person, which means X is big time villain. Not gonna lie, big time villain. Watch out for that.
All right then. And I'm about to say, do you guys have any people you want to highlight for their drip or hate them for their drip? If not, we're gonna move on.
Hate for drip? Let me see. Off the top of my head, I don't. I mean, I can find.
Shishomaru from Inuyasha. Like, he dripped out, bro.
He got that shit on though.
He does.
Kagome, when she has Kikyo's fit on, is better than Kikyo's fit. Is better than when Kikyo has it on. I stand 10 toes on that.
How about 9 toes?
You know what? Sasuke's fit is trash.
Which one?
What?
No shirt Sasuke?
That's tough, bro. That's what I'm saying.
It's trash.
In anime, it looks cold on him, bro. Come on.
Well, I see a lot of people putting on that Sasuke, showing out that chest type fit.
Oh, so I wanted to give Demon Slayer a lot of love. I think all the Hashira, I think all their fits are magnificent. The Howries on them, or whatever they call them, I'm sorry, but I think all of them are magnificent. Every single one.
Okay.
They just work.
Saitama has terrible fit.
I agree.
Yeah.
He was going to be on and the second version of this, but I was like, let me keep it simple.
They probably do it on purpose, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Bon Clay.
Yeah,
fit
Mr.
it's so terrible.
All right. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna be winding down. I didn't realize. I thought we weren't gonna make it in 3 hours today, but we're gonna wind it down with some read your scriptures. All right, then. Did anybody catch the Blue Lock spoilers or the Blue Lock chapter?
I did.
Boy, them Nagi stocks are about to go down, but he turned right at the right moment because is that dude whose ego's main op, is that dude going to end up being like the final obstacle before they meet the main villain? Because the deal that he offered Nagi was insane. He said, I'm gonna run everything in your life. You're gonna be my slave, but I'll get you on the U20 team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him as like I think he's ego's villain, if we would have to say something like that. Because his view on it is like, let me just throw money around. Ego is actually trying to develop players. His style, I can't remember his name, but he's more like pay to play. So like he told Nagi, like, hey, I can get you on the squad, but all your contracts, everything, like you're property to me. Random, you need to adjust your camera, bro.
Oh damn, what's going on here? Jesus
But
Christ.
I mean, I don't know how I feel about Nagi. Well, Nagi at one, I think he accepted the offer.
I don't think. I know he said no. I don't think so.
No, he said no, but then there is a panel that he says all right.
If he accepts the offer, I think his stocks go so far down it's ridiculous. If he accepts the offer.
No, because he has a conversation with him. He's like, even now at the bottom, you refuse to throw away your pride, which pretty much is insinuating like you're not willing to do everything, whatever it takes.
Okay, let's say he does it and then he pulls up. By the way, he has the addition to get 3 more people. 2 of them are, if you go by what you're saying, 2 of them are locked up. Say, which we'll talk about, and Nagi. And the last one, and I know y'all laughed at me when I said it, but I'm telling you, that first dude that they eliminated, because he was actually very popular, the Jewel of Japan, what they called him. His name was Kira. He's coming back. He wants smoke with Isagi. He's coming back. That's the final spot on the U20 team. But how would Ego react to Nagi taking that deal? I think Ego would be very disappointed in Nagi. I think Isagi would be very disappointed. Rayo would be disappointed.
I think at this point, Ego doesn't give a second thought about Nagi. But I personally think if Nagi was to accept the deal, I think Ego would be somewhat impressed. Like, you're willing to do whatever to get back here is what Ego was literally complaining about with Nagi. Like, your nonchalant attitude, your pretty much just getting by based off of talent, no drive. Like, the fact that he's just standing out there and he's willing to do whatever it takes to get there, I think it impresses Ego. But I mean, if you go back to the chapter, he does accept. He's hesitant. He's like, oh, all right.
I'm not gonna hold you. I'd be very disappointed if I saw that. I'd be
Why? He's at rock bottom.
I personally don't think Nagi needs to be in U20. Just let him go away for a while, man. I personally don't think so. I think this is a really bad way to come back to the squad because
why?
Okay, so he gives up everything. So instead of finding his own way, instead of finding his own way to get back to Blue Lock or the U20 or whatever, he just takes a handout. I think that's horrible for him.
He still has to go through the selection process of, I can't remember his name. It starts with a G. But he is holding a selection process, which he explains to him, like, if you do want to be back, part of the 3 players that I'm picking, which Say is one that's guaranteed, even though he's saying like, hey, I'm only gonna come back if we play Spain. But you do have to go through the selection process, and if you win out, you're guaranteed a spot. It's not like he's just accepting a handout like, hey, I'm back in Blue Lock. No, he still has to go through something. And if he's bodying people there, I think that's cool. I think it's okay for him to come back. Like, you're at ground zero. I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I think it's good writing.
Okay, Rodell, this is your guy. How do you feel about it?
I told you so. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Final villain, final boss, ultimate. You know, it's Nagi. He's him. He about to show up.
You getting the fucking handouts, man. You getting fucking handouts to get back on the team, bro. Not doing it by his own goddamn self, but you got it, big dog.
I don't understand how you think that's a handout. like
I feel like also this selection thing
Did
is gonna be
Kunagami get a handout?
Look, Kunagami had to be fucking experimented on. If you want to say technically, yeah, but he also had to work through that. I think this selection shit is gonna be a bunch of. I think this selection shit is gonna be a bunch of bullshit.
I mean, my expectation. So maybe you think that Nagi's not going to change, which would be terrible writing. I think everything we've seen indicates Nagi's going to change. He's going to become extremely better. And not only is he going to prove that he deserved a spot, he may prove he's better than everybody on U20. So there's no point of having this arc for Nagi, and he's just the same player. That doesn't make sense.
I'm not saying it's the same player, but first things first, for him to be better than everybody on U20 is insane.
How
really
is that insane?
not?
How quick? Never mind. No, what? We'll just see what.
No, well, we're here. Let's talk.
How does he? Okay, Riddell. You tell me this selection makes him all the way better than everybody on U20.
Good, depending on what they do.
I'm like I said, I've called Nagi potential boy this entire time. I've also said that, for some time, sure, write him out of the story. I think it's great. We all knew he was coming back. If he comes back to this point to where, again, he's at rock bottom, so the only way he can get back is make a deal with the devil type thing, and that potential is no longer potential. It translates to, I'm going to body everybody. Like, Rio, you blocked me, you're cooked. Isagi, you just watch me go out there. Don't give up on soccer. Well, I didn't. I'm gonna pack you up. Like, it changes so much stuff in Blue Lock. It's also not a handout, because again, it's not that he's guaranteed a spot. No, he has an opportunity to get back to what he's lost.
Not even get back to what he's lost. Surpass what he was. The thing about Nagi's story arc at the end of the day, the biggest problem is that he didn't have the drive. He didn't have a goal. And now we finally figured out he loves soccer. And now he wants to be better than everybody else. Because he surpassed Asagi in that one moment. He realized that wasn't enough. No, I need to think bigger. And what's the biggest thing in Blue Lock? Becoming the best striker in Blue Lock.
I personally, at least from what I've seen, I don't think he hasn't gotten to the point of, I want to be better than everybody else. Right now, I think his main goal is, I just want to get back. Now, I do think when he gets back, I don't think he's going to be complacent like he was before. Like, oh, I just want to play with Rio. Like, now it's, nah, I'm finally back and I'm never losing this again type thing. And he realizes that the only way that he can lose it is to be complacent. So that'll get him to that drive. Like, I just gotta be better than everybody else so I don't lose this again type thing.
I have to read the recent chapters. I haven't been caught up, but we'll see. Depending on how the selection process goes, based on how you explain it, he could meet another character that truly wakes him up as well. There's a lot that could happen.
I feel like we're going to see a lot of characters that didn't make it in this selection process. And I think Nagi's going to... I mean, say he's guaranteed. Like, he's guaranteed. So 2 spots are open.
Mm-hmm. By the way, that group being, what was it? It was Japan, France, Nigeria, and I forget the 4th team in the U20. But look, obviously Nigeria's not going to make it to the second round. All right, I get that. But Blue Lock, make them look horrendous, and I'm not fucking reading anymore. I'm legitimately serious. We don't get a lot of African representation in manga, as I get it, but make them look like idiots, and I'm done. Standing 10 toes down. I'll just watch y'all talk about it, because don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, man. All right. but I think it's going to be very interesting. Obviously, we know why Sei's doing it. He's like, Bunny, I'm trying to get my get back. I'm trying to get my get back on you. And
Or
maybe we'll get more of his backstory during that
maybe
group.
that get back is Nagi. That'd be a perfect pairing, to be honest.
We'll see. Other than that, it was a Nagi and Sei focus chapter plus that new guy. The other one I wanted to talk about real quick was Spy Family. We don't really talk about Spy Family a lot, but it looks like they're about to have potentially the discussion, Yor and Lloyd, because we don't get a lot of Yor focused chapters. So she went on a mission, and during that mission, she basically fought. She had to end up in this little mini fight with another assassin from her organization who was like, you're soft now. You got a family, you got a kid, you got married, you're soft. And then through like their little fight, she was like, no, I got people who believe in me, blah, blah, blah. But they're asking like, if you're not fully locked in on this marriage, because her organization doesn't know that she got married church, they believe her marriage is real, right? And now they're about to have a conversation. So I cannot wait for the next episode of Spy Family, but they're cooking.
That conversation is not going to happen. It's all going to be misdirection. I wouldn't be surprised the moment she's about to tell him something happens and Lloyd has to do something else.
Well, I'm always down for the one thing that Spy Family lacks is the amount of Yor and Lloyd focused content, which both of them, and I think they need more of that. So even if the conversation doesn't have, I think just any kind of progression in their relationship would be very good. Because goddamn, we got Mr. Henderson's whole backstory plus his relationship status before we got anything more of Lloyd and Yor. And don't get me wrong, Mr. Henderson's a great character.
There's a really good backstory. This could be the start. And I feel like we've said this before, probably a clip somewhere. Yor and Lloyd could be the ship of the generation. It could be the one that everybody cares about, everybody's invested in, everybody wants to see them. Will they, won't they? That could be the one. They're both entertaining. They're both interesting. It's a very unique plot line that revolves around family, not necessarily love, but at the very least caring about one another.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But more than likely, in order for this to fully probably happen, it will have to involve Anna for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Anya's gonna be wingmanning it up, straight cooking. But it was good to see your focus arc for a little bit. So I was really excited. Other than that, I did have a Mr. Beast AI conversation about him creating an AI to steal YouTubers' thumbnails. But man, it's been over 3 hours. We can talk about that another time. Anything else?
He said he's redoing it after getting feedback. So
yeah, he got straight up cooked. That's why. The some of the shit that he was trying to in the video that he put up I was like, bruh, ain't no way you had somebody make this video, they edited it, you looked it over and said everything's cool, and then now you figured out what all the problems are. But look, we can talk about that another time. We're about to be 3 hours and 15 minutes. It's been a great show. Anything else you guys want to add before we go?
I do want to put a little plug for Open Dojo next week. We have an invited guest coming on. She's a big Dragon Ball Z creator. So it's going to be a DBZ focused show, more of an intimate show where we're going to be, doing like an interview style, and I'll bring you guys up one by one. So if you can ask your questions, get your hot takes off, have a little conversation here and there. But yeah, stay tuned. It's going to be a great episode, guys. Next week, July 3rd, 9 p.m. EST on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm about to say, make sure y'all pull up. Make sure y'all pull up. I'm excited to at least see the episode. She's like, Black Boma is very tapped into the anime space, and ain't nobody stand for Dragon Ball as much as she does. She stand for it even more than Tai. So I'm really excited to see her interact on Open Dojo.
Shout out her, man. Shout out her. Also, I will say this.
put out a poll for the. So this is the poll I put out after the big debate on Open Dojo on the video game franchises that should be on the Mount Rushmore. We ended up being Call of Duty, Mario, Fortnite, and Minecraft. We had a big debate on whether Minecraft, Fortnite, and Call of Duty should be on there. Mario, we all agreed. I put out a poll. I said, which video game franchise belongs on the all-time video game Mount Rushmore the most? I put that poll out. I put the name Fortnite, Minecraft, and Call of Duty. Minecraft won with 48%. Call of Duty was number 2 with 43%. And Fortnite, 9%.
I don't think Fortnite should be on the Mount Rushmore of video games.
I'm not the one who argued it. It was mostly Gabe. I was arguing Minecraft. I was like, bro, Minecraft has to be on it. That was the one I was arguing.
Go ahead. It's tough when it comes to franchises because you can have a lot of arguments in terms of, I mean, Final Fantasy. You can talk Resident Evil.
Look,
there's a lot. You can even go sports. You can go 2K.
Like I would put Madden on there before Fortnite.
We had the Madden 2K convo. They didn't make it. Miles, he said big Final Fantasy guy. He said that didn't make it. Nobody brought up Resident Evil, but I don't think that was gonna make it. I think after your Dragon Ball combo, though, the plan is top 10 video game peaks. And if we're talking peaks, Fortnite might be one. I'm not gonna lie. That peak Fortnite had everybody, like the entire world, captivated.
Because part is I never played Fortnite until I played with Lonnie.
Oh, you missed out on peak Fortnite, man.
I'm good.
It was a wave. It was a wave. And then one more thing. I think I'm gonna do a little mini series, kind of going through some of these fights after we talked about all these different things regarding anime fights. I was like, you know what? I seen another creator did something similar regarding wrestling matches. So I'm gonna see how this works and go through some of the big Naruto fights, and then analyze it, and then create a whole rankings after rewatching them on the best, the worst Naruto fights. Naruto's the one that won the poll. So we'll see. Go on it. Start off with some of the Zabuza stuff and see how well these fights hold up. Because that top 10 ranking we did, Sakura and Shio being one, maybe I missed something. So I'm about to go look it up.
That was Lonnie being nasty, I believe.
No, he didn't.
This was an official list that was done.
No! I remember. Okay, I remember now.
Japan. Okay. It was a ranking made by the Japanese audience.
Well, you mean we know the Japanese audience values things differently than we do.
That Neji fight being there too is trash.
Yeah, I don't know why that one made it either. Compared to others, Naruto and Sasuke Part 1 not making it is insane. That's insane.
Well, guys, this was so much fun. I mean, we got to talk about some drip. We had that conversation between streaming 9 to 5. That could go on forever. But thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a pleasure. We will see you guys next Tuesday. I don't know if Lonnie's doing an anime and chill this week, but I know Riddell got his own stuff. Make sure you support us on all of our social medias. And also on our Patreon, because we're adding a lot of stuff there. I just need to post all of my One Piece videos up there because I'm watching by myself. The way it's working out, just Miles a busy dude, so I can't lock him down when I want. So I started watching more by myself. But it's been so much fun, and we will see you guys later. Take care of yourself. And OSU, I had my first match today. Of rematch. That game's great. Have you played it, y'all need to go ahead. It's the same people that made Rocket League, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And that game's great. Like you're doing some blue lock shit on that game. Like all that shit, you're doing it on there. So make sure if you guys looking for a game to play just to burn some time, and it's free on Game Pass. Shout out to Game Pass, man. Game Pass keeps selling, bro, because they got some heat coming up on Game Pass too. But we will see you guys next time. Take care of yourself, drink some water. Like Chill says, take it light, but take it. Where's the outro at? Boom.
Stealing Chill stuff. Tough.
He'll be fine, bro.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Black Sensei Society podcast. With that said, make sure you guys like the video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and turn a notification bell on so you never miss any content we like to drop. We want to do as much as possible, and if you want to join the community, you can also go to our Discord, go to our Linktree, and be a part of it. We have a lot of great conversations in there, and we're doing a lot of fun things in there, events, getting your opinions for content and videos, tournaments where we have cash prizes. So make sure you guys join the Discord and rate it 5 stars for the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We really do appreciate you as we continue on our grind. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys enjoyed. You have a good one. Peace.